Hello again, Internet. This is your DM Tyler, reporting to you, as always, from the future. Today we don't really have many or any announcements. I just like giving you these little intros. So, as a reminder, please follow us on all the social media accounts at Extra Attack RPG. As a reminder, we are affiliates on Twitch, so you can subscribe to us, and that helps us out, and you get fun little emotes and other community perks and benefits. Yeah, that's about all I got for you today. So, without further ado, please enjoy the next episode of Dungeons and Dragnets, Rexxentrum Nights.
Previously on Dungeons and Dragnets.
Goldfang looks at you all and says, back so soon. What did you discover?
They call themselves the locksmiths. Seems like they got a bone to pick with what they call corruption.
Perhaps the best source of this would be for you to lead the way. The lot of you are about to become much more fortunate. You pull off the lid. You just see a large sack each.
No reasonable way for me to deny this request, so let's go see the damn locksmiths.
I got a safe I'd like to make a quick trip to. If you're all okay with that, I mean, I don't have like a place I can spend 10,000 gold right away anyways. Got a gun on layaway, but you know. So I head over to the closet and look behind my shoulder and I enter a code. And then, you know, I jiggle the handle, but it doesn't quite open, and I motion to whoever might
maybe you shouldn't talk too much about how to get into your safe.
I'm explaining it for the narrator.
Yeah.
You guys hear him, right? But as people put their money in, they see that I have written on a note that says, we're gonna get fucking killed if these guys notice that they're gone. So we're gonna have to kill them and make it look like the locksmiths did it, and then also beat shit out of us. In less words, probably.
I'm just gonna use the restroom real quick. I'm gonna go to the restroom.
With the big bag?
Yes. I'm gonna rip the shower curtain off.
Okay.
And I'm gonna pour all my gold into it, like a hat sack kind of deal.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna try to drop this onto that ledge.
You eventually make your way to the same sort of non-specific building with the white and the sort of dark trim on the outside walls. You find your way to 15. What's everyone doing?
And then I'm gonna do what is essentially a breach entry kick into like the door handle.
But you can see a couple of sort of sleeping bag cots that have just kind of been abandoned. You can see various food stores and different storage and crates and such, most of which has been rummaged through. A lot has been seemingly abandoned. You don't notice until it's right there, but there are about 5 people coming in the entrance of this door.
Insight, that is a 13.
He seems like he's gonna kill you.
We gotta get the hell out of here. Gotta turn the chaps and I'm like, open that damn door.
Thrush is there like trying to chip away at it, and you go, no, and it just fully flies open. What you see is essentially a storage closet, Thrush, but Ida, you see
I just go, fuck!
Yeah, amongst these crates and stuff, you do see a door on the floor right here.
Pull out the loot and I go, how about a song? And I'm gonna cast Shatter.
I get to the bottom and I look up. I'm like, time to get out of this joint.
You are met with a large, like, underground cavern. Do not follow. If so, good luck. And then a small drawing of a key. A large sort of metal statue. It's got a blade on one arm and a hammer on the other arm. And as you guys start to get close to sort of investigate it, it starts to come to life. and starts to move in your direction. Chaps, how do you want to end this?
I want to hit it where it knocks its head off and just rolls to the feet of Thrush and Jack.
As you try and get it, it's, and you hit it again, and just pop, and this perfectly like circular head just kind of pops off and rolls down right in front of Jack and Thrush, who are kind of tending to wounds and such, as then the whole thing kind of fizzes and drops down as just a hunk of scrap metal. Trucking along, moving forward, going up the ladder, getting to another hatch at the top. That's where we're going to end tonight's session. Now we're here. Everyone is ascending this ladder, the end of this cavern. As you emerge, it's dark. Who was at the top of the marching order, if you remember?
I think I was at the back because I'm just limping along.
Right, yeah.
I might have been.
Yeah, I think it was Ira. Ira, can you give me a straight perception check?
That would be a 15.
15. As you breach, it's very dark. You can start to see sort of stonework. As you kind of look left and right, you get sort of brick and wooden walls going. There's a little bit of sort of fog and steam. So you look up. You can see the night sky above you starting to come out. You find yourself in an alleyway.
Okay. I'm gonna wait for everybody else to like get up there. I guess I'll just be like kind of looking around to see maybe where I am.
This is an alleyway that seems unfamiliar to you, but you know, given the length of the tunnel, you can kind of guesstimate how far away you might be, although direction might be a little off.
Got it.
Everyone else coming up?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. As you all come up and get your bearings, you look around. This is just an alleyway with a sort of like metal hatch kind of built into the ground. There are a couple of like sort of stray boxes and containers around. Can everyone give me another perception check?
That's in that one.
I get the 17.
I forgot to get my dice out. But
Classic here. Hell yeah.
So it's a 5.
14 plus my perception, which is, I believe, a fucking like +1 or something like that. It is a +5 actually, so 19.
19. Jack, you definitely get this. Ira and Chaps, you're kind of putting the pieces together as you're catching your breath in the surroundings. It feels like this door is usually covered by some of these boxes and cargo and stuff. It's kind of been pushed off to the side.
I'm glad they didn't recover it. Got a little harder to get out.
Yeah, they may have been leaving in haste.
Probably a fair thing for them to do, considering who we were telling them was coming after them.
So, what are you all doing? What are you saying? Where are you going?
Wow, this is quite the fine situation we've gotten ourselves into.
That's one way of putting it. The way I see it, with fuck.
I
don't
think
we can stay here.
Tomato, tomato.
I think I might need a drink.
He goes, yeah. And where are you gonna get said drink?
I've got a place.
I could use a drink. I could always use a drink.
We just need to lay low and keep out of Ness's hairs for right now. He sent people to kill us.
Yes.
Yup.
So that leaves 2 threads left. We got goddamn Armand, and then we got the locksmiths.
That sounds about right.
Yes.
But we don't even know where the locksmith went to.
Yeah.
I'm sure
Yeah,
we'll be hearing from them soon enough.
Gosh, I hope so. Kind of did them a solid if you think about it. Or if you don't even think about it, we definitely did them a solid. I mean, either way, we really put our necks on the line for them, and we don't even know truly if they were lying to us or not about their intentions. We just kind of knew they were taking stuff. If we really think about that too.
What part of the city are we in?
Make a perception or insight feels weird, but insight, I guess. Make either of those checks and just tell me which one you're taking.
You know, they used to have knowledge checks, and that made sense to me. I get why they took them out.
I'll do insight. Nope, I don't know. I got a 3.
Feels like similar, but you don't know exactly where you're at right now.
What was the place we started at? What was the building located in? That was
still in the Tangles.
Oh, okay.
We were in the Court of Colors before this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Or just adjacent to it, anyway.
If I could get my bearings, I think heading to a different district might be a good idea. I'm thinking the Mudtop Ward. I got a place to go.
Some place where they don't really know where we're at. At least far away from this whole hideout would be a good look.
Well, let's get our bearings and head on out.
As long as we stay here, the more at risk we are anyway.
It's true.
Just hood up. Lead the way, Metal Man.
I'm going to stealth my way towards the street. Just to try and make sure that we're not drawing unnecessary attention to ourselves as we walk into the open.
Side note, Ira, remember your racial feature. Yeah, take a second to go through it. Something that you should have been using a lot, but
I'm happy to roll as is.
Yeah,
so.
we'll call it a quirk. Yeah, roll stealth for me.
23. Heck yeah.
Cool.
I'm
You feel pretty
stealthy.
good.
I'm stealthy AF. So yeah, I'll get to the main street, and then I'm gonna kind of like peek around. And do I see any activity? Any guards? Anyone that's anyone wearing the guild colors that I should take note of?
Roll perception.
16.
16. It's starting to get quiet now as night is dragging on. One second. There's not much activity. There's a couple of people sort of settling in for the night, a couple people finding their way to taverns and inns and the like. No immediate guards or guild members or anything in the vicinity.
Perfect. Yeah, I'm not exactly in the best condition to even run from another encounter. I'm still kind of hurting. But yeah, if I don't see anything, can I try and get my bearings from the street? The alley was probably a bit tricky, but
Yeah, exactly. That'll be a better. Yeah, let's try insight again.
13.
13. You get a pretty decent beat on where you are. You at least know what's north and south, and you know you're headed north. So
Yeah, so I'll kind of like motion to the others, and I'll just say, I think we're all clear to head out. I have a good idea of where we need to start going. And I'll start heading north.
okay, is everyone following?
No, I follow. Yeah.
I mean, feel free to go back to your place and check on the safe, but
I mean, I do want to do that eventually, but maybe right now is not the best time.
Yeah, directly after a murder attempt on your life.
Yeah, that sounds like a great time to go back to where they will most likely find me.
Pretty sure that office is not yours anymore.
Likely not. But then again, as soon as they threw a brick through it, the structural integrity was already gone, and it was kind
Yeah,
of...
you're not gonna get that deposit back, Jack. I'm just telling you right now.
Gosh, no, I'm
hope
gonna have to leave town regardless.
I hope the woman
these
that
guys
you
are
were
trying to kill
living
me or
with-
not. Someone else would.
I hope the woman you were living with is okay.
It's the woman
Me
living
too?
below him. Yeah.
I mean,
Well, whatever the case is, I'm not thinking we're getting that money back. So
I would like to make a stop there eventually, just not in the next week or so.
we
Just to
got
kind of
time.
take a look, see.
Got things to figure out. And I'm going to be making my way towards the leaned draft.
Yep.
Right.
Is everybody trying to be stealthy? Is everybody trying to just walk?
Stealthy in the kind of way where I'm not like going, but more like just like blending in.
Just not drawing attention to ourselves as much
hiding in
as
plain sight.
as much as we can try and avoid drawing attention to ourselves, considering the group that we are.
Yeah,
Yeah.
moving the same way I normally do around the city, but before I start playing anyway.
Everybody give me a stealth check. It's not going to be like a crazy high DC based on the way that you're trying to interact, but
Jesus Christ.
That's
21.
just 16, friend.
21.
I got the 14.
It's gonna be a 10.
Okay. You make your way through the tangles, headed north. As you start to walk, you can see that you're a little closer to the western wall than you started at, implying that this tunnel went a little bit westward. So you're here's where you started. You went a little bit west, and now you're going here. So you're definitely not headed back into danger as far as you can tell.
Good.
It takes the better part of an hour or so to get through, sneaking around, getting to where you need to go, until you come to the familiar part of the city for you chaps, where the tangles get a little more impoverished. Some of the buildings, you can tell some of these people are a little down on their luck, or maybe the Empire is not treating them as well as some other citizens. And walking through, you find your way to the leaned draft.
Yeah.
No sort of issues with anyone harassing you or coming after you on that walk.
Excellent. And yeah, I'll approach and enter.
Is everyone else following?
Yeah. Have I been here before?
Roll a history.
Before I walk in, well, I'm letting Aaron finish his roll first, but
That's history. That's just 10.
10. You haven't been here, and it doesn't really ring a bell. Maybe you've walked by it once or twice, but you find that the people of this district don't tend to have a lot of coin to spare, so it's not really the most appropriate place to busk.
But once I'm not actually upset about that. Like pull my hood a little tighter. Go in behind him.
before I walk into the place, I'm just going to take a quick visual ocular pat down of the area and see if anyone looks suspicious or like if anyone looks like they might be like kind of keeping an eye on us. Ocular pat down is going to be am I rolling for perception or investigation?
What are you? I mean, you can roll for either. They're just going to reveal sort of different things or have different DCs for what you might know.
Which one's more casual and aloof, so it doesn't look like I'm giving the place an ocular pat down?
I'd say perception, you're kind of glancing about, seeing what you take in, whereas investigation is I'm specifically looking for clues of people and...
Yeah. Yeah, I'm trying to not draw too much attention to myself and make it look like I'm looking. So that's gonna be a 23. 23?
It doesn't
Not
work
quite.
as well.
No, it doesn't.
Kind of doing a quick glance over your shoulder, looking around, you can see this small bar kind of exists on its own little block almost, with two little alleyways going down, a main street in front. And then you looking around, you notice there are two alleys with people on top of buildings, like one-story buildings, kind of glancing at you. But you get the idea that they've been positioned at this place for a while.
Like in a good way or a bad way? Because that kind of sounds bad.
Depends on your idea of good or bad.
What kind of clothes are they wearing?
It looks like all black. Not uniformed in the same way that the people who ambushed you at the locksmith's headquarters were. But
I'm gonna follow the group in, but I'm gonna quick whisper to everybody once we're inside. I'm gonna say, we might have a tale. Just to let you guys know, a tale is code for a person.
Yeah, Jack. We know what a tail is, Jack. Jack, we all deal in this shit.
you walk in, and chaps, it's the familiar sort of like curtained out area where it's kind of all black curtains. You don't really see anything, and it's there's now a Firbolg woman sitting there. She looks at you and says, "Chaps, good to see you. And you've brought friends."
We need a place to lay low for a little while. Maybe get a drink or two.
Sure. Well, the boss isn't in, but I'm sure he'd be happy to see you. Make your way back.
I just give her a nod and I head in.
As you walk through the curtains, you all now see this sort of very dark, like sort of black with some gold decor. The bar known as the Lean Draft. There are three people sort of hanging out, dispersed around the bar. There's a couple of tables. They're all sitting alone. All similar sort of like shady type characters. As there is a human standing behind the bar. As they look up at you, they say, "Chaps, how's it going now?"
Been another rough one. Think I'm gonna take my usual.
Sure.
I'll cover whatever my companions get too.
Understood. You hanging out for a while? You need anything?
You still have a room in the back? Might need to recover tonight.
Yeah, we'll make it up for you.
Thank you.
Stay as long as you want. For the rest of you, what can I get?
good.
I'll take a whiskey, and I'll take that with a side of another whiskey.
I'll just have some water, please. Thank you.
Nothing for me, thanks.
Understood. Huh? 2 whiskeys. Puts them both in front of you. They're in like rocks glass with 1 or 2 ice cubes in each of them. With all your drinks, what are you guys doing? Are you finding a seat? Are you going to this back room? Are you?
I mean, probably take a seat for a bit, unless everyone wants to.
Take a sheet with a view of the door.
Okay. You find an open, like 4-top table to the right of the bar, towards the bar end, where you can kind of see that curtained entrance that you walked in at, unoccupied. You taking a seat?
Yeah.
Okay. Everyone sit down. Jack's got a view of the entrance.
I'm a little less worried about that.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. What's everyone doing? What are you talking about?
Dutch is gonna be like, so We got any idea what we're gonna do? Because
I don't think we can stay here.
I don't either.
we can't stay anywhere. Because we're dealing with a city official also. So
Pretty sure I can stay here pretty comfortably.
yeah, great for you, Metal Man. Stay in the
You're my
comfort.
guest.
Stay in the comfort underneath our mind, just like you always were.
He's treated me well.
Yeah, he's treating us great too. Sending us on errands that end us up in more deep shit.
Well, maybe we shouldn't have let some people away during that encounter. Kind of looks at Jack.
Hey, as far as we know, none of this was because of that.
Because yeah, do you think it was a coincidence that Goldfang was able to find us? You know,
I think Goldfang was gonna.
Seemed to have a pretty good description of us.
Yes, and we were also spotted, but we talked to like 5 other people at that same area. We talked to 2 shitty guards, and then we got apprehended by the guy who runs the town. Oh wow, that's a big surprise. I'm really wondering how that happened. Really,
Anyway.
it really makes the mind race about how 2 shitty guards could see us at the scene of the crime where all this stuff was supposed to go down, and then all of a sudden the guy who runs the town knows where we are and what we look like. Weird.
As opposed to that guy that you made cry and run away.
Hey, first of all, yes, I made him cry. I'm a very imposing figure. Second of all, that dude sucked, and you know, if he's gonna blubble all over my suit, look. The point is, you let folks live too.
he's not wrong. I hate to say it, but he isn't wrong. Because maybe this would all be different if we just killed everybody there.
Possibly.
Maybe.
Because
Maybe
you
if
know,
we had let things kind of play out. Well, it's coulda, shoulda, woulda. What's in the past is in the past. What's now is this deep puddle of doo-doo we find ourselves in. And how we're gonna unstink ourselves.
we found ourselves in the middle of a 3-way split between 3 factions, and one faction has already tried to kill us. One seems to have no qualms on threatening to kill us. Looks at Chaps. He goes, and the other, they've tried to provide some assistance, but I'm not really one to try to pick sides if I can avoid it.
Perhaps. So, we have 3 people who all probably want to kill us. Except for maybe the locksmiths. They, as far as we know, they owe us one.
Do they?
As far as, I mean, beats me, honestly.
Well, do we go try to
We don't
find
even know
the
if they're
locks-
good guys. We took them at their word. What were you saying, Ida?
Do we go try to find the locksmiths, or do we go somewhere else?
I feel like it'd be a little difficult to find them given that they just moved. So anyone that did know where they were, don't know where they were.
If anything, they'll find us. They seem pretty good at intel if they could find that whole drop happening in the first place.
I
What does
wonder
that
how
leave
they
us?
get. I wonder how they
mean-
get the intel.
I mean, if you don't want to, I can still talk to the boss.
I'm not sure your boss is going to be so keen on you anymore.
He goes,
Haven't had any problems with him yet.
Well,
I feel
Yeah.
like Metal Man will be
Okay.
fine.
we'll see. I don't really put much trust in mob bosses and what they think of me, especially if I've aided in the destruction of property I want and then helped out the group that destroyed that property. Seems like if Goldfang knows everything we did, your boss probably does by now too.
I'm sure he does. Just thinking back to the fact that I told him everything.
Look, that was at least if we were in a game, that would be like 2 weeks ago. In the time of the
Judging-
players.
He goes,
Yeah, it's been like a day since that happened.
Well,
Yeah.
I'd say based on Metal Man's disposition, he's not worried, which
Guess not.
worries me.
his funeral. But here's my thinking. We got 3 opposing factions, and we find ourselves right at the cross-section of all 3. So, if they're all pointed this direction anyways, why don't we get them all to converge, fight it out, and, you know, the enemy of my enemy is probably also my enemy, but they're a lot weaker after fighting the other enemies.
Because you got any ideas on how you're gonna accomplish this?
Well, the last drop happened over some anti-magic garments, right?
Yeah.
Feel free to step in at any time, because I'm spitballing here, so this is not, you know. But
You know, Jack, I gave you the floor. I thought you had something.
I appreciate it. I appreciate you giving me the look. I'm
kind of out of options at this point, so
my thinking is we arrange another drop.
we arrange a drop.
We arrange a drop. We don't have to be there quite directly, but we place
What kind of
items.
connections do you have?
Well, does anyone know a place to get magic or enchanted clothing of any kind? Or anti-enchanted in clothing?
I feel like that would be expensive.
Considering it's probably experimental, I don't
Well,
think any of us have
That's a
access to
connection
that.
I don't think we have there, Jackie boy.
Well, they don't need to know that it's not really anti-enchanted until they open the box and they're like, "Ah, my god!" And then all of a sudden, you know, there's us behind them with a gun to their head.
I believe you might be the only one with a gun there, friend.
That's true, and it was expensive too. It's still on layaway actually. Still need to pay it off.
All right. So what Jack's saying is right. I think the best bet we got is to place them against each other. Unfortunately, Jack's right. But how we do that is beyond me. He goes, Goldfang has already given the order to kill us. He goes, the payoff was probably just a decoy to get our guards down so that he could get us somewhere and just off us, which is upsetting because I would have liked to keep that gold.
The payoff was
too.
probably for the guards that were sent to kill us. It's probably more for them than for us.
Yeah.
Speaking of
Because-
which, Thrush. Well, I'll let you
Yeah.
finish what you were saying first. Go right ahead.
And as for Armand, he'll string us along forever because I know the kind of guy. He goes, you get in the pockets a little bit, and you're stuck. And I gesture to Chaps again. I'm like, he goes, even if you wanted out, you couldn't get out at this point. He goes, then you got the locksmiths. They're trying to be goody two shoes, but who wants to be stuck in their secret society? What we need to do is figure out how we get them on the same page enough to inevitably turn on each other. Because unfortunately, the only thing that they all have connected to them, other than the city itself, is us four.
And a want for contraband. Chaps, you think you're still good with Armand, right?
As far as I know.
Perhaps you could have overheard something that might put them in the crosshairs. Goldfang, and maybe vice versa. Locksmiths will probably show up regardless.
Could always talk to the boss about his business. Maybe see if I can get maybe I can get us something that Mr. Fang would be after. Maybe get you that package that you're looking for.
Possibly. Now, the thing is, I don't think your boss is too willing to start out an open war with the guy who runs the city. So, you're gonna have to be a little subtle. I'm learning about this subtlety thing. But perhaps this would be a good time for you to use your experience in it.
That's
Maybe
a
you can-
conversation. That's maybe a conversation for tomorrow. I'm happy to stay here. I'm sure they'd let you stay too. doesn't sound like you're too keen on that, though. And he looks at Thrush.
All I'm saying is, well, I saw Thrush open his mouth. I don't want to cut him off.
No, go ahead.
I was just saying.
It's fucked either way.
I saw some folks on the roof. Now, they're probably with Armand. But then Armand knows we're here. And if Armand wants us dead, which he probably does, maybe...
I'm sure he's still got a use for all of us.
That's for
Does
sure.
he?
Yeah, why not?
Well,
We're just little toys he can dangle in front of all his bad guy enemies.
it's just
If his enemies want us dead, he can lure them out at any time with us. Maybe that's how we get in Armand's graces.
putting ourselves in harm's way so that we can draw out Goldfang. Okay, actually. Okay. Goldfang wants us dead. Armand probably wants us dead, but he actually has no qualms about using us as bait. So, what if we're bait and the worm gets off the hook?
I don't know.
I just kind of like look around. I'm like, well, I don't know about you three. I think I'm ready to power down for the night.
Well, yeah, because you look like you are one step away from the scrap heap, so that makes sense.
I'd say
You're
I've seen
okay.
better. I've seen much better days, but it seems
Would
the
you like
last
us to-
few not been so great.
Would you like us to stop by an artificer just to knock out some of those dings in your face and body and brain and stuff? Because I'm not sure taking a simple reboot will. I mean, in D&D game, yes, it will. But you know, just for the sake of immersion, creating a narrative experience.
Let me just explain how storytelling works to you real quick.
Yeah. You see, generally, the hero's journey is.
I
So
don't
one
think
of-
you
it's a
understand
12-step
how.
process.
I don't think you understand how a warforged works, sir. I don't think you can talk about my body like that.
Trust me, last thing I want to talk about is your body. You've been putting on a couple of extra rings of wood around the.
Nope.
I shake my head and I go to the back room. I'm just like, I can't handle this right now.
He's done with us. At some point, I lost track of what conversations were happening in the game and what were happening outside of the game. It all kind of blurred together a little bit.
Hard when you keep your character.
Yeah, right. As you walk back to the back room, it's past the bar, kind of in like an employees only kind of section.
Uh-huh.
You see, there's a couple of like humans just kind of finishing putting things together as a kind of like rudimentary bed of like crates with like a sort of like a stuffing of feathers and hay and stuff. It's put on top, kind of just a very thrown together sort of bedroom area that they have the materials for, because it's, you know, not uncommon for people to need a place to crash, but on short notice they're there. And as you kind of walk in like beat to hell, they look, and then they immediately, without saying anything, kind of like scurry out.
And when they're about to go out, I grab the one in the back and I'm like, let the bartender know if the boss comes to let him know I'm here. And I kind of like drop a coin in his hand and let him go.
Right, thank you, of course. And like doesn't make eye contact or anything, it just kind of scurries away.
Yeah, and I just like lay down and I just immediately power down.
Right.
I enter what is essentially sentry mode.
Yeah. The other three of you, you're all sitting in the lean draft. What are you doing?
Did he?
Now that square's gone. No,
Was he the only one that got the room, or are we just gonna sit here? I don't know
I
how
think
this
we can choose to bunk with him, or we can choose to play it safer. Not sure what's safe at this point, but
I suppose. I do eventually need to get some rest, though. And then I put up my hands with the.
Blood go. Jack, can you roll me perception?
sure. That is going to be a 14.
14. You notice some kind of movement by the curtains a little bit. As no one's come in or out for the past 15 or so minutes that you've been sitting here. But yeah, you notice some kind of movement by the curtains as then they kind of shift to the side and someone walks in. Long sort of leather black coat, sort of button-up shirt, black pants, long black slick back black hair, pale skin. This is Armand walking into his bar.
I give everyone at the table a look that says, "Oh shit, Armand is here. Everybody act really cool, but also be careful because he might want us dead. We don't know."
He kind of walks.
I'm just gonna sit like, a little bit lower.
He walks over to the bar and has a quick conversation. Kind of shakes his head, looks past the bar towards the door that Chaps walked into, then grabs a glass of wine and looks over at all of you. And starts walking over.
I cheers him with my glass of whiskey, which is, I'm on my second one by now, but I'm like a third.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. As he walks over, he pulls out the chair that Chaps was sitting in. He says, "May I?"
It's your place.
By all means. Yeah, exactly.
And he pulls in the chair and sits down and says, "So, how are you all?"
Peachy.
I could use a nap, but
I got
Well.
punched in the face by a metal statue, but all things considered, I've been worse.
A metal statue, how interesting.
Long story.
No, we have time.
Watch episode 3.
Episode 4, because
Ah,
this
shit.
is episode 5 now. Oh,
We
How
filmed it on the
meta.
same day as episode 4, so it's kind of
Yeah.
blended together for me.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah, right.
Oh shit.
Look
Go
at
back,
the
bleep that
illusion.
out, bleep that out.
Look at the illusion.
We changed shirts for nothing.
What
Are you saying
done?
I trimmed my beard for nothing? The facade is falling away.
I trimmed my beard too. Yeah.
I grew extra beard that day just for this.
All right, we're all loopy. I gotta close this window. Hold on.
Oh,
Oh boy.
I'm keeping this in the show. I don't care. I'm hanging
that's
out.
it.
Dude, this is
This
the
is
stuff
stupid.
people love, I think.
I'm not gonna lie. I was waiting for a solid edit point for 5 minutes. I was like, we're
Nope.
gonna find a
Nope, we're
gap,
keeping it
and then
in.
I'm gonna close this window because I am freezing.
Let us know when
keeping
there is a good edit point, because I do want to get another nondescript beer.
Well, when we go to break, you can. do that.
You mean a water?
Yeah, right.
Yes.
So as Armand is kind of looking over all of you, he turns to Ira and says, "Well, you're more than welcome to spend the evening here. I've been told that Chaps is already retired to a room for just such an occasion."
Oh yeah, she's nice and cuddled up on in your bosom of a establishment you have here. He's feeling nice and cozy and right as rain. He's took a few dings.
I understand the animosity you may have towards me, Jack.
What do you mean? We're friends. We're pals. I scratch your
Right.
back. You don't shoot me in mine.
Hmm. I hope you understand this also comes with certain protections as well.
Well, if I'm protected by anybody, I would feel most comfortable protected by you, that's for sure.
Well, this establishment is yours to use as you will.
Oh, I very much appreciate that. Can I do insight?
Yeah, sure.
It's gonna be a 24.
24. He seems pretty genuine. You know, you're used to him being kind of sneaky, and when you last left him, like, I guess the evening before, he seemed real irritated, but this is a different sort of demeanor. Yeah, he seems pretty genuine about what he's saying.
In the spirit of your kindness, would you like me to get you a drink on me? I mean, I guess you own the place, so everything is it comes back. Would you like me to buy you a drink?
You might as well just put 5 copper in his hand. It'll be the same transaction.
That's
No,
fair,
no,
yeah.
no. The sentiment is appreciated. By all means. He just kind of sips his wine.
Well, cheers to you.
Cheers. Now, I should ask, what has transpired since we last spoke? I assume you've been busy, if you all look in the sorts that you do.
Well, Thrush, you're the storyteller.
Sure. Where do we begin? Let's start with, we were contacted by your lovely friend, Goldfang. He goes, turns out he's a prick. But, I mean, I figured, you know, big wigs, they're usually pricks, but turns out he, unlike you, went straight from, threatening us with violence to trying to enact it directly, which, not too kind, especially since we did him a favor. But, you know,
Those teeth are sharp.
he goes, yeah, it'd be a shame if somebody had knocked him out of his fucking mouth. He goes, Armand, we stand at a very interesting relationship point right now. Before, basically, I had to do whatever you say because you said it. At this point, I'm willing to do whatever you say for the purpose of hurting that motherfucker. So, thumbs up for that. Because you come for my life, something's got to happen. Because you've been straightforward with us, not trying to kill us behind our backs, as far as I know. So, you're more of a stab you in the heart guy. Because, and I appreciate that. But the situation is thus. I feel like I can say this freely amongst my compatriots, also prisoners of the situation, these weirdos.
You could have stopped at the first compatriot.
I turned. I know I could have. I did that on purpose, Jack.
I know you did. That's fine.
Because I don't want you cozying up too close to me.
I don't think that'll ever happen.
Hey, you say that,
you're like a cat. I try and hug it, and you scratch me.
Because I'm not a cat. I'm a bird. There's a beak and feathers.
All right.
Anyway, the way I see it, Armand, is a 3-way situation going on. You have Goldfang in your way, and you have a third party in your way. Because you all have various reasons for being tangled in the things you want. Goldfang seems to want more power. He's playing for something. You obviously don't want him to have that, which is great. He goes in his third group, wants to put daggers in both of your hearts. So that's where we stand. Also, we were cheated out of a large sum of money, so I really want to kill this Goldfang guy.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure about that too myself, to be honest.
Ah, the universal motivator.
Except in, well, let's not bring up communism in
So, allow me an evening. If you have any plans you'd like to send my way, I'll return here. We can speak. If not, I will see if I can't figure out my own plans. And maybe we can do something about what has transpired to all of you.
Well, we were gonna follow up on some intel. Nothing. Just maybe something about potentially another drop. Or we don't know what it is. It sounded juicy though, but we haven't had the opportunity to not be attempted murdered yet to really give it a good look see. So I figured that would be our goal tomorrow, would be to follow up on that. So we'd be happy to give you an update as soon as more materializes.
Interesting. Well, follow your leads. Do what you must. Perhaps I can assist with materials for you all. You may have to give me a day or two.
Most reasonable.
I will leave them here for you. Return in another day or so. Get the update. Your faces are known. Now,
Sure are.
if you'll excuse me. And he kind of looks at you all for like an approval of.
I just nod.
He gets his wine. He gets up and he goes towards that back room that Chaps was going towards. Chaps, you in your power down mode, you can still hear things, correct? Oh, you're muted.
You're muted.
Womp.
Womp. Yeah, so I just need to spend 6 hours inactive, but I'm still aware.
Right. You hear a knock on the door.
Come in.
As you kind of
Yeah, I'm like,
power up again,
yeah.
the door opens and it's Armand standing there with his wine. He says, forgive my intrusions. I'll allow you to get back to your rest in a moment.
Of course, boss.
How did it go? As he walks in and kind of shuts the door.
It was a little bit closer than I was expecting, but Goldfang's a little bit sharper than I was hoping to have to deal with.
Right. Well. Let's see if we can't even the odds a little bit. And he walks over to the corner and opens up a crate and pulls out a sort of wrapped package. Shuts the crate. Says, I came across these and I thought they may assist you. Consider it a thank you.
Of course, boss. You want me to open it now or save it for later?
It's up to you.
I feel like a kid in a candy store. No.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I think he'll get up and walk over to Armand and just kind of keep his head down, and he'll put his hands out to take the package.
Gives the package, says, well, I'll return here in the morning. Enjoy yourself. And he leaves.
Thank you, boss. And when he leaves, Chaps will go and sit on the bed, and he'll just look at the package for a minute, not really sure what to expect. He's never really, aside from money, he's never gotten anything from the boss. So he kind of looks at it for like probably a solid 5 minutes, just thinking like, what the hell kind of situation is this? But he'll start to open it.
As you open it, there's it's kind of like a parchment paper wrapped around it, and as you kind of unwrap that, there's this leather sort of bag, very thin, with a flap on it. As you open up the flap, you can see sitting there are 2 leather gloves. Thin leather, one kind of with like a reddish, like a dark reddish hue, and one with a dark blue hue. And I will send you the stats for these right now. This
Awesome.
Yeah. Let me know if that makes sense. Yeah, they're cool, right?
Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty sweet.
Okay. Yep. As you return to your power down, say, are you putting them on, keeping them on you now?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna like kind of go there and like try them on.
Welcome to the Extra Attack Puppet Theater, an absurd retelling of events meant to rectify the fact that we lost half an episode of audio recording.
The next morning, me and the gang woke up and split. Me and Jackie Boy decided to swing by his office and get a feel for how bad things were.
I knew it wasn't a great idea to be snooping around my place with our necks on the line, but I had to see if we can recover some of the gold from the safe. Besides, I still need to pay off the layaway for my gun.
Me and the would-be detective made our way to his building after getting a heads up.
It's safe now, but you gotta move quick.
Using my incredible acrobatic prowess, I was able to sneak my way up and into Jack's building and make my way up to his office. The place was tossed, but I did manage to find some of the coin that was left behind.
Meanwhile, down below, I checked in on some of my neighbors, Mr. and Mrs. Tibbs. I made sure they were safe and threw them a few gold to stay someplace away from home, since I expected Goldfang to be the type to burn down the whole garden to clear out a few weeds. If anything happened to that sweet old couple as a result of my involvement in all this business, I don't think I'd be able to live with myself. Besides, I think they'd enjoy a night on the town.
What'd you say, young man?
What? Oh, right. I forgot you can hear me when I do these things.
Back in the building, I was able to sneak my way down expertly and pick up my parcel I left on the ledge the last time I was here. I was sitting on a small fortune and needed a place to stash it. After silently getting back to the alley, I signaled for Jack, and we headed off toward Captain Richter's.
Chaps and Ira decide to take a little of the heat off themselves by changing their look at a shop known as Gideon's Garb. Welcome to Gideon's Garb. How may I help transform your fashionable sensibilities today?
We're looking for some new clothes. I'm looking for something a little more inconspicuous.
I'm looking for something with not as much blood.
Right, well, for you, how about this?
This fits pretty nice. I think I like this.
Wow, I think I like it too.
Well, with both of you wearing it, it's giving more cult than inconspicuous, but let's see what we can do for you, bloody lady. How about this one?
Do you have anything else?
And this sort of yes and no back and forth goes on for a period of time, and we don't exactly have the animation budget to cover it, so we'll just skip through it until finally.
This one is perfect.
Fantastic, darling. And now, to cover those scars and add a touch of drama, how about these for your arms? Black, gold, regal, elegant.
Wow, Gideon, I love these armbands. These are amazing. Chaps, what do you think?
Right, well, how about a final compliment for the ensemble? Perhaps a bow tie, perhaps a regular tie. One has a sense of seriousness while the other has that certain je ne sais quoi.
Gideon, I cannot decide between the bow tie or the tie.
Maybe you could get both of them.
That would be incredible. What a great day of shopping. Oh my god.
This has been Fantastic. Thank you for all of your help, Gideon.
It has been my pleasure, and should you ever seek to upgrade your look once again, do not hesitate to visit me at Gideon's Garb.
So me and Jack made our way out the tangles and towards the Shimmer Ward, reaching the office of Captain Richter. I was gonna let anybody in on me working with the Cap. I knew Jack would be okay, seeing as he was hired by Richter in the first place to do the job that placed us firmly in Armand's palm.
I gotta say, I was pretty surprised to learn that Thrush had thrown his hat in with the captain. Never seemed like one to be picking sides, least of all the right one. At this point, though, I was beginning to see the benefit of being in cahoots with somebody who didn't already have a shovel handy to dig your grave. Who knows, maybe this was the right move to be making. Or maybe this was all one cuckoo's nest this bird couldn't fly over.
Me and Hardname laid it all out for the captain, and the captain laid it back in return.
Ah, well, Kai Ardes, being the guildmaster, has a certain pull with the crown. If he's working with the Myriad, that could make things very dangerous. Armand's aunt, Iris Bethelus, has held favor with both the public and the underworld for some time. With Goldfang's connections, that could mean that the Myriad would be deeper rooted in the Empire by way of Exchequer Aethia Drews, who happens to work with Baroness Jenna Irisor of the Cerberus Assembly. If Kai is also working with Lutinous Deleth, then that means that the highest order of mages may already be lost to the criminal underworld. Right, well.
The Cap slipped me Ascendant Stone, and just like that, me and Jackie Boy became the Wind.
I should mention, we didn't literally become the wind. It's more of a euphemism to say that we made ourselves scarce and... okay. Thrush has given me a look that says this is that whole subtlety thing we've been working on and you should really be better about this by now.
Yeah, he's gonna have resistances to everything and... Oh, hi! I didn't see you there. It's me, Aaron from Extra Attack. I was just busy homebrewing up some monsters for our various campaigns and one-shots here on Twitch. Did you know that now you can subscribe to Extra Attack here on Twitch? Which not only supports us, it gives you some pretty cool exclusives as well. Exclusives like emotes, like this, and even this. But Aaron, is all you get for subscribing to Extra Attack on Twitch a few silly emotes? I hear you ask. Why no, you silly fuck! Subscribing not only shows your support and gets you those sweet emotes, but if you're a member of our Discord, you get access to exclusive content and updates on Extra Attack shows, ad-free watching on all our Twitch streams, and it just makes you a better person than other people.
This statement is not true and in fact does not reflect the standards and views of Extra Attack.
So subscribe to Extra Attack today by hitting that sub button. And hey, if you have Amazon Prime, you can link your account to Twitch and sub for free. That's right. Fucking free! The best price. Now excuse me, I have some OP monsters to make. Yeah, so he's gonna have like 15 legendary actions.
Oh, hi there. You just caught me in the middle of composing the soundtrack for Dungeons & Dragnets, Rexxentrum Nights, while also contemplating if this whole fake surprise turnaround bit is the only comedic ammunition we have as a channel. It is. Well, I just wanted to let you know that some of the songs from the original soundtrack of Dungeons & Dragnets, Rexxentrum Nights are now available on our YouTube page, with all original compositions from myself and our very own Ashley Burkhart and Ian Newton. Each song has a dedicated download link in the video description. I mean, listen to this song. How about this one? And I know you like this one. I mean, you said it yourself. So, hop on over to our YouTube page and check those out and keep posted as even more songs are released. Now, get on over there, and I'll return to making these sweet, sultry tunes. Yeah. On the internet.
Heck yeah.
And my driver is on top of me. So, yep, I just got the text. All right, I'll be right back.
We will see you shortly.
He's just like, I'm here. Goodbye.
Hopefully everyone enjoyed that little puppet show.
Yeah, that's. Oh God,
it was
lemonade out of lemons, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it was quite the situation when we realized that we had no audio for part of the end of the first half and the whole second half.
Yeah, it was a panic attack mode for me, especially because I was just like, I don't know what has happened. I don't know what went wrong. Everything's gone horrible. But yeah, we used the opportunity to make a little puppet show, and now we have some kind of recorded evidence of what took place.
Yes, which was still. I love how it turned out. It was fantastic. Oh, it was the puppet show was fantastic. And we did get another half to the episode, so it's not like we're stopping here. We've got a whole other.
No, it ends right now. The series, that was the end.
Goodbye, cliffhanger.
Wait till season 2 to find out what happens next. God, Tyler, you're still muted if you're talking.
God, dumb. I said so many golden things in the past minute and a half. Now,
you can claim you said things you didn't even say.
I actually
wouldn't even know.
You won't know until you make the puppet show for it. Really,
I thought I wasn't muted because I said, "What are we talking about?" And then Eb goes, "Oh yeah, we were just saying how the puppet show was a lot of fun." I was like, "Oh, yeah, okay, I guess I'm back."
I said that because I saw you come back.
Oh,
but
right.
I didn't hear you say anything, so I just kept going.
Gotcha. No, you answered my question, so
sometimes it just works out that way.
It was it was fun. It was a lot of work, but it was fun.
Absolutely.
I say with the tiredness in my eyes.
It was great. We got this.
It's great.
It's fine. Everything is fine.
Every part of producing this show is a blessing and an honor.
It's just it's behind the curtain. This was recorded pre Extra Life.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So there's definitely going to be like a weird change in auras afterwards.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, this was recorded the week before Extra Life.
And then the subsequent half was recorded the week after Extra Life, I believe.
No.
No, I think that was before as well, because for Extra Life I had everything set up.
We squashed a bunch of things into it, and then I actually thought about it that as we've been recording, I've been like, we make a lot of references to like Dez's character and like the Hark and Ayun thing.
Yeah.
But I was like, this is gonna air like 4 to 5 weeks after Extra Life.
It was such a great time. Why not reference it?
Absolutely.
Right, yeah.
And that stuff still does exist on our YouTube channel. So
it will be up soon. If not,
I this animation really, I was supposed to do it this past weekend, and then I realized kind of the gravity of the situation of our tech issues.
But I mean, by the time those references come up, they will be.
Sure. Oh, right. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So we've rectify the situation. We've got backups for our backups now.
Yeah, now we do. Yeah.
And now we won't have any more issues if my computer decides that it hates us.
And if anyone loved the puppet show and want us to do another one, we will consider it. But it won't be like a show replacement. This will be like something we'll do later.
Yeah, it's
pretty funny.
There is one episode coming up, but there's this distinct change between like times it was recorded, because the first half was just like pulling teeth. I think it was my internet was messing up. Yeah.
I mean, can't win everything, but like specifically my computer was just like, how we have all this video, like not that you can't hear.
If you didn't,
if you didn't have
for no reason.
Yeah. What if it showed that you were recording the audio, but we didn't?
Right. Yeah. Right. It's a fun little magic show.
It was.
Yeah. So now we've taken steps to prevent this issue in the future. It hasn't come up again. I can't imagine it will.
God for my sanity.
Yes. At the very least, if it does come up again, we will be more prepared to do things ahead of time.
Yeah, right. Yeah. No, we won't.
No, we won't. That's a bold-faced lie.
What's happened? I don't know. Everything's broken again.
I'm sorry. I should go play Among Us. I'm good at those games.
Mad sus, bro. I don't know. That's
You can suss me, but I'm too innocent, even if I'm guilty.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think we have much else to talk about today.
Let's let them enjoy a bit of a brief break and then jump into the second half.
Cool. Sounds good. I'm gonna eat my food.
Me too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We gotta get that GIF in. I gotta have that loaded onto the stream deck. We can just have
I'm
that
dizzy because I haven't had anything to eat today.
All right.
Get us to break.
All right. Enjoy the second half, everybody. Goodbye.
So, after an unfortunate recording situation, and hopefully charming intermission, you, Thrush and Jack have just turned invisible and are leaving.
After leaving all of my money with Captain Louis Richter.
Most of your money.
I pretty much.
You kept some. Yeah.
I have very little, considering I've dropped off like 5,200 gold with Captain Louis.
So where are you guys going?
I think me and Jack make our way out of the complex that we were in. Get back to the streets while we're invisible. It lasts for an hour, so we can head pretty much all the way back towards the lean draft if we need to.
I got nowhere else I'm going.
Yeah, we just start making our way through the streets, invisible for most of the walk, and then at some point, just when I know the timing's up, I like turn down a really shady alley so that we don't just appear in the middle of the street.
Just some poor like old street vendor, like, ah!
Let's wink at him.
I put a gold coin on his
you have
table.
You have like one gold left, don't you?
Well, you gave me a bunch now.
Oh yeah, I did give you more gold. You were running.
But yes,
out,
I was down to like one left before you gave me that gold.
You gave him like 200, didn't you?
How much did you give back to me?
I gave you back 10.
Okay.
And then you gave him like a bunch.
You gave me like 2 hundo.
Yeah.
I have I'm gonna get rid of one of those golds.
Since we lost the recording, now's your chance to like redecide how much money.
7,000 gold.
But that was all in your safe, so that's now gone.
Yeah, so that's all gone. You had 7,000 gold.
Yeah, you gotta pick an amount you can carry on you, man.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I've only got 13 gold on me from having several thousand before.
Mm-hmm.
I have a hollow leg full of money.
Those acrobatics are going to be at a disadvantage.
I mean, it's like integrated into me, so it doesn't make sound.
Part of your wiring.
So where are you two headed? Just straight back to the lane draft?
Yeah, unless you got somewhere else you need to be, Jack.
Lean draft sounds like a good place to be right now.
Yeah, lay low and work out what we're going to do about this drop situation.
Maybe have a few whiskeys.
Or you could lay light on the whiskey and
be
100% cognizant for the operation that will determine whether or not we die.
Perfectly cognizant with at least up to 4 whiskeys inside of me, so I don't think you need to worry. You're pretty low head.
Me too, Jack.
I'll always worry my head when I'm next to you, Jack Hardname.
Well, I can't do anything about that. You seem like you've got a real bugaboo about me, so I get it. But
I get it.
This is nice. Ira and Chaps, upon heading out of Gideon's garb, you both had mentioned the possibility of filling time, getting more into nonsense.
Looking for something fun to do, I think, was the phrasing Ira was talking about.
Yeah, like
Any
just
ideas?
to see what's around. Do I see anything fun? Like immediately walking out, or?
You were in, you were around the Vigil Circle, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
You roll me a perception check. What's your idea of fun, if you don't mind me asking?
Ida has a whole list of things that she thinks is fun. You know,
making people sad.
Hey, listen.
Bleeding all over the carpets and places.
I do love animals. I love animals. I don't know, whatever you think would be fun to do. I have
something that stands out to her, basically.
Yeah,
I get that would be a dirty 20.
Can't wait to give you about 12 different options, and you're like, no, none of these.
or you'll give her 12 options, and she'll be like, we'll do all of them sequentially.
Where are your Tony Jaa Ong Bak fighting arenas?
Yeah, right. I definitely did that to you in a game, though, Ian. I did make you on the fly set up a.
Yes, you did.
I mean, whatever comes up, we'll see what happens.
Yeah,
where is the pod racing?
Yeah, right. Okay.
now this is pod racing.
You see a couple of stores kind of around. One is called just Common Folk. It's a standard sort of common store, light adventuring gear, maybe a potion or so, food, any sort of random accessories. You see a place called Priya's Private Stock, which seems to be a bit of an eccentric, like, oddities store. And then a little down the road, you see a very absurd place.
Oh, you know what I want to do.
This place is called The Big Top.
The Big
Chaps,
Top.
we need to go to the Big Top. Do you see this right now? It's right down there. I want to go.
This is.
Do I know anything about this place?
Roll history.
16.
16. You've stayed clear of this place because this is like a tourist trap for sure. This is a magician's bar and gift shop.
Oh gosh.
Wow, Chaps, we really need to go there.
Sort of,
I mean,
an
if we go
illusionist.
there, just letting you know, and I'm not paying for anything you get.
That is fine. I can pay my way. I'll figure it out.
If you say so.
This is sort of an illusionist's hangout spot.
What was the name of it again? The Big Top?
The Big Top, yes. It's it's actually a custom built building that is in the shape of like a top hat, sort of.
Oh, I love that.
And there's one door that's like the bar entrance and one door that's like the gift shop entrance.
Ida starts running towards the door.
And I'm just like, I watch her run, and I'm just like, these are the people that I surround myself with these days. I don't understand it. And I just follow after her.
Getting through sort of different street vendors and stuff, you arrive right at the main door of the Big Top. It is a black door with a golden sort of filigree trim. Not too dissimilar looking from the armbands you just got. Not the same pattern, of course, but sort of in the same vein.
Wow, do you see the similarities? Oh, it was like a dream come true. We had to go in here. She opens the door, starts heading in.
I just follow after her, like shaking my head, and I'm just like, there's a reason I've steered clear of a place like this. But
as you walk in, it's immediately like a small sort of circular room, and there's just a very sort of skinny, I guess maybe as tall as Ira, definitely shorter than Chaps. Can somebody give me insight real quick?
Sure.
Sure. Can I help with advantage on Chaps roll?
18.
This is totally not important. I just wanted to know if you could get the vibe. Chaps, when you walk in, this guy kind of like looks up and he gets a little like twitch as he prides himself as like the tall one of the operation. He is a human man, sort of tan skin with like a curly mustache and like a tiny little strip of chin beard, with a tall top hat that kind of has the same red and gold or black and gold coloration as the outside of the building. He's got like a long sort of formal coat with the two tails that almost like curl at the end.
Oh yeah, very showman-y.
Right, he's got like white gloves on. This room has almost like a pinstripe wallpaper going around, and it's circular. There's a couple of like portraits of equally eccentric looking people, and you see like no doors around it. As he says, Welcome to the Big Top. I am Gaius Melaman. Let me be your guide. And then as he like waves his hand, the whole room starts to like spin around and start to move. And as the paintings kind of like blur together and stuff, and then they slow down, and then there's just a door right behind him.
Ida kind of like gets close to Chaps and whispers, "That made me kind of nauseous."
It's so hard to stay in character right now. And I kind of like look over to her and I'm like, doesn't really look like we're allowed to leave at this point.
Do a perception roll.
Sure.
That one.
This is amazing.
I was so excited about the room spinning.
Yeah, I got an 11. I think I'm a little thrown off.
You're a little thrown off for sure. I mean, it's obviously like an illusionist bar, so
yeah.
Not that hard to figure out what's going on here. As he kind of looks at your amazement and he says, "Yes, the fabric that binds reality can often be," and then he pulls like flowers just out of nowhere and he hands one to each of you and he says, "Bewildering."
Ida reaches out and smells the flower, smiles, and then bites it.
As you go to bite it, nothing. You kind of go right through it. It's an illusion.
And I'm just like,
wow.
Well, for your teeth hurting.
A little bit cheesy, but I guess you are a showman after all.
Yes, of course. And he says, "Please follow me." As he walks through the door. You following after him?
Yeah.
In for a penny, in for a pound.
His name was David Electrum.
No, his name is his name is Gaius Melaman.
Gaius Gideon? Wow. So many gifts.
I made these names at separate times, maybe 3 weeks apart, and I didn't realize they'd be so similar in the same series of events.
You just didn't think we'd go back to back?
Right, yeah, exactly. As you walk through into the main seating area of the Big Top, it's kind of got like a U shape going around the entrance that you just walked into and sort of filling out most of the like top hat shape, as there are different booths that have like red curtains that can close and give like sort of privacy to each booth. Most of them are opened. It's still midday. There's not that many people in there, but it's very dark in here. All the wood is black, the carpeting is black. There are some tables in the center that have little candles on them. All the way in the far back, there is a stage. You get the idea that the people who sit in the center here kind of enjoy the show that may be going on. And then there's a bar to the side, also all candlelit. As Gaius walks in, he stands kind of under this big chandelier that's hanging right in the middle of this large room. He says, "Well, you'd have to forgive lack of excitement in midday. However, we can do something small for you if you prefer one of our booths for a private showing."
Sure, that sounds great.
Very well. As he shows you to one of the booths, as you get closer, you can see that the seats kind of are like a black leather with similar golden inlays and stuff. There's one small candle on the center of the table, and then there's a red curtain on the far side as well. So it kind of feels like it's fully curtained in. Are you guys sitting down?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, sitting down, he says, "Do Do you need any refreshments while you wait?
Get me something fun. I don't know. Whatever you think is interesting.
Of course.
I think I might regret saying that. I just realized my mission part. I said what I said.
And then Chaps just looks over and is just like, I'll just take something simple.
Of course. He kind of walks away, and then you have like a couple of minutes right now. If you guys,
this is just a bit of an in thing between Tyler, Aaron, and I. But does Sinclair work here?
Probably.
I feel like he would.
He'd definitely be a performer here. But
anyways, so I think I'm like sitting down, and I kind of like vaguely look over to Ida, and I'm just like, seems like an interesting place of a joint for you to pick.
You know, from where I came from, we don't have many things like this, so it's just nice to kind of, check out everything I can.
Well, I guess for a tourist like yourself, this is the kind of place you'd go then.
Yeah. I like it so far. How long have you been in Rexxentrum?
Quite a while. I mean, maybe a good 20 years, something around that time. Had to change lines of work at some point.
You mean like working with Armand?
Yeah, I didn't move here to start with him, but he started taking care of me when I was, well, I was a street performer for a while. I still kind of am, but he pays a little bit better than that.
Yeah, I could see that.
Up until recently, all I did was deliver packages, though. This seems to get me a little bit more deep into his business. I'm a little uncomfortable with it, but gotta do what the boss asks.
What kind of packages would you deliver?
All sizes. I never knew what they were. Didn't care. Got paid well enough not to care.
Ira, this you can remember the first job that you two did together, where Chaps had a sort of bag that he was holding with him.
Yeah. Do you still have that bag?
No, I dropped that off with Armand that first time we met him after that night.
Oh. Did you ever find out what was in that?
Like I said, I got paid well enough not to care.
I understand. I wouldn't want to go against Armand. At least not by myself.
Personally speaking, he's a good man, takes care of his people. He just, some of his business he conducts is a little more edge-like. Not too many law people like what he does.
Understood. I hear that. Yeah, I came to Rexxentrum after just, being with a village my whole life. So, well, I mean, there was a little bit of hiccup in there too, but I don't talk about that very much.
Sounds like something we might have to get into later if you're ever comfortable.
Yeah, we could talk about it later. It's not anything that serious.
We've all got our secrets.
That we do.
As you guys are talking, you see Gaius return with, he's holding one glass that's kind of like just a regular flagon, but this is like it's like iron or steel or some sort of metallic thing. He's just holding that in one hand, and then the other hand, he's got this see-through glass that is like swirling with like a glitter, and it's like purple and pink and kind of moving, and it's kind of got like multicolored sparkles kind of popping out of the top, almost like little fireworks.
That better be mine.
And he's floating it, not even like touching his hand. As he walks over to your table again, and he leans down to Chaps and he says, something simple. It's
and I just kind of like give him a nod.
It's just an ale in there, and then as he floats it down, like he goes from his hand and it floats down and just kind of sits right in front of you and is continuing to sparkle. And he says, "This is a cocktail we serve here known as the Fairy Fire. Don't worry, it's not the actual spell."
Thank you so much. I'm so excited to drink this. And she puts a straw in it.
It's got like a pop rock sort of sensation as you drink it. It kind of like tingles on the tongue.
And for the audience, I'm using a paper straw because we need to. We still are environmentally friendly even in our games.
Right.
Except for the plastic bottle that I'm drinking out of right now.
Womp just totally threw it off.
It's okay.
Also,
She'll refill it like 4 times and it'll pay for itself.
Also, if you are handicapped, plastic straws are perfectly acceptable. You gotta do what you gotta do.
Fair.
That's fair.
Welcome to our TED Talk.
Welcome to this game of baseball where we cover all the bases.
As okay.
That's I'll be honest, that's throwing me off a little bit.
Yeah, we're back in the big top. Yes. As Gaius looks at you and says, "Well, enjoy." And then as he kind of bows, the curtain that leads into the rest of the big top just closes on its own. And you can see your candle gets like a little dimmer. As then the curtain on the opposite side, towards what would lead to like the outside of the establishment, kind of just parts open a little bit. And you just see 2 white gloved hands.
You're already intrigued and it's just blood.
It's not very hard to intrigue me.
As you see the gloves kind of turn over and then wave at you and kind of like welcome, and then it like gives a thumbs up towards you.
I know it's waving back.
Yeah, as it produces like a deck of cards out of nowhere, and then you see it kind of like go like this and like as if like rubbing arms, but there's like nothing there. And then fans out the cards in front of you and like gestures.
Ida reaches out and picks the card.
Okay, as he puts it back. Yeah. Let me see something here because I got a deck of cards with me.
You've taught yourself this very trick.
I haven't actually. I want,
come on, camera focus.
That's what it is. It's the deck of clubs, which I can obviously see that, but the gloves can't.
The gloves have eyes.
Right. As it fans them
Gloves
closed,
have 1,000 eyes.
and then holds out the deck on top for you to put the card back.
Ida puts the card back.
Okay, as it takes it and like shuffles it and does the full like bridge fan thing and all around,
Whoa.
really fancy and moving around.
Wicked.
As it then like spreads the cards sort of all around your table, and then pulls out like a small like letter opening knife, not like a dagger that could kill somebody, but like a small, and pulls it out and like kind of wipes it down and then stabs on one of the cards.
Oh fuck! Okay. What do I do? Do I take the knife off? Hands. What do I do?
It's just like.
Well,
You
Ida's
said, "Oh
gonna...
fuck, okay," and then you ran the hell out. Apparently.
Ida's gonna take the knife off and look at the card.
So you look at the card. It is a Joker. As the hands kind of like.
Are you trying to guess my card, or are you trying to tell me I'm a clown? What the heck is this?
I kind of just like rub, and then start like pulling over cards, and as if flipping through sort of chaotically, and then they get to the last card and all the cards are pulled up, and your card is not there in any of the cards.
Okay.
Is then he and starts to like look around and says, and then kind of floats up and reaches behind your ear, and then your card, the Jack of Clubs, is right there.
That was so good. That was such a great pick.
And you see Chaps just like sitting beside Ida watching this, and he's just like, and mentally he's just thinking like, the things that amuse the simple-minded.
And this sort of shenaniganry kind of goes on for a bit as he clears away the table, pulls out the very typical top hat, like pulls a rabbit out of it, and then puts the rabbit back down, waves the hand, and pulls out, and it's like a stuffed rabbit, and then like goes to give it to you, Ira.
Wow, I'm so glad you used the knife in the first trick and not this one. Thank you.
I imagine at some point it tries to get Chaps involved, but he just doesn't budge, and it just like shrugs to itself and just keeps doing tricks.
Yeah, and it just keeps doing these sorts of things.
Realizes that she's the one the show is for.
Right, exactly. And as it ramps up, it kind of uses things like prestidigitation and minor illusion to create sort of pleasant smells throughout the show, create some sort of music and sparkly effects and stuff, as then it finishes up, and then it kind of like walks up and then gives a bow with the one hand, and then kind of does like that, and then recedes through back into the darkness, and the curtain closes again.
Wow. What a great show. I was very happy, and I still have the stuffed bunny with me.
Mm-hmm. That's yours.
And I even got I got the little bunny. This is so great. I'm so excited.
Always interesting to watch some smaller shows at work. Seems like they must make a decent living.
Yeah, and as things wind down, then the main curtains open back up, and Gaius is there and says, "Well, have you enjoyed yourself?"
It was wonderful. Thank you. And the bunny, this was great. I was so happy.
Of course. Now, not to be unsavory, but your bill will be, all things considered, 2 silver and 2 copper each.
Okay. So Ida.
That's how they get you.
Hold on. I'll pay for the whole thing.
The real illusion is watch as your money disappears.
You said 2 silver and 2 copper?
Each.
Jesus Christ. Okay, so she puts 4 copper and 4 silver.
Okay. Says, "Well, thank you very much, and thank you for spending your afternoon with us here at the Big Top. Feel free to enjoy our gift shop as well on the way out."
Gift
Have
shop?
And I look at her and I'm just like, this whole experience for Chaps is just like, this has been a way to spend time.
Right.
But this is not the way that he would choose to spend time.
Chaps, is there anything that you would like to do?
How long have we been in this show?
The show itself was maybe 45 minutes or so. The whole experience total comes down to an hour, a little over an hour.
I think he kind of thinks about it for a little bit and is like, not usually, not too many places I need to go right now. Any other place you want to check out? This was quite the show, but...
Well, we had fun with me. I want you to have fun too.
Oh, I'm sure I've got plenty of time for fun ahead of us.
Okay, well, I guess we could just kind
Wanna
of get
head-
out of here and head.
Unless you want to check out the gift shop, I'm sure they've got more rabbits and shiny things for you to look at.
I really want to, but I think I should save my money. I also got the bunny, so that's good enough, and some new clothes.
Roll perception, both of you.
23.
Both of you, it's not hard to see, but both of you realize the only exit of this place is through the gift shop. It's total theme park setup. Like
It's as expected. You have to go through the gift shop to leave, so they want to entice you to buy things. But it's
You
just a
got
matter
bank
of like,
seed.
yeah, right.
yeah. So I guess we'll be heading that way anyways. But I mean, unless something really fantastical pops out, I think Chaps is pretty set on just leaving.
As you walk through towards the gift shop, it kind of opens up a little bit. There's still similar like black wood and stuff, but there are some windows in this room, so there can obviously be some light. You can see all the merchandise and stuff. As there's a good couple of rows of shelves with just both of you roll perception on that. Definitely trinkets, definitely shiny.
17.
3.
Ira, everything is just so wonderful and so magical
Everything
and
is so
shiny.
magical and shiny and great.
Chaps, you get the feeling this is all overpriced trinkets. Not much of it even has any magic, and the ones that do have magic are mostly novelty. Of course, they can find uses for things, but like little magically lighting up things, or sort of like wands that have one prestidigitation use in it or something like that.
Yeah.
How much is the wand with the prestidigitation? Is it just like a one-off type of thing? Or is it like does it recharge?
It can do 3 uses of prestidigitation per day. And that is going to be if we play by Electrum rules, that would be 2 Electrum. I don't know if you guys even keep track of that, but that's 4 gold.
Sold.
Okay. You have a wand that can do prestidigitation 3 times a day, and I cannot wait to see what the hell you use this for.
To put that in my notes.
Yeah.
Where's my?
I mean, in other games, like when my character Sinclair, the illusionist wizard, prestidigitation is useful as hell for me. So
it can be a very useful spell. It has many applications. It's just whether or not you're creative enough to figure out what to use it for.
So you guys are heading back to the leaned draft.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, we'll make our way back. Suppose.
I can't think of anything that Chaps necessarily wants to do. He got new clothes. He's happy with that.
Yeah. All right. Jack and Thrush. You make your way back to the lean draft. You have unbothered because you were invisible for most of the journey. Arriving back at the front door of the lean draft. Are you going right in? Are you doing anything else?
I'll take a quick visual sweep of the outside. Just kind of see if. Yeah.
Yeah, both of you roll me separate perception checks.
And then we'll compare notes.
Did you forget your dice again, Ian?
Yep. Am I doing an investigation or perception roll?
It's up to you. There'll be different things sort of revealed or seen. But
I'm gonna try and be extra sneaky about it. I'll do my investigation roll.
Okay. What was it?
19.
Okay. And Thrush?
That's a natural 20 there, bucko.
How? How do you keep doing this?
We need to put Aaron in dice jail.
He's got to make up for the lost ones.
Yeah, I get that.
Not lost. Not forgotten.
Thrush, you kind of are glancing around, just seeing who you see. It being midday, there are definitely some people kind of going around. No one catching your eyes immediately insidious towards you. There are definitely some sort of like myriad crime types, but you get the idea that either they're involved with Armand or they're aware that this is Armand's place, but not who you are necessarily, or not looking for you like on behalf of Kai. No. Jack, you looking around, looking for peering eyes, familiar sights and whatever, you immediately are drawn back to the two buildings across the street, and you can see two figures again on top, assumed by chaps to be Armand's people, kind of keeping watch of the place. So there are definitely some more people around than when you entered the building previous, given that it's the middle of the day, but there is not anything immediately like spy about it.
Yeah.
I'm not thrilled.
I think we're good for now.
I think so, but I don't know. This place puts me at ill at ease. Well, let's just keep on doing what we have to do, I guess.
Yeah, and I just go inside or knock or whatever we need to do to get inside.
You could just walk in, but there's that black curtain sort of entranceway. Yeah. This time there is an orc sitting there. He says, he kind of looks up and kind of like gives a second about to say like, who are you? But then he remembers and, oh, right, on you go.
And I just give him like a head nod, like, thanks. And I go inside.
As you walk back in, the bar is now open for business, with Mara, the Fearbold bartender, actually tending bar now. In a previous day, she was working at that door as well. Now she's behind the bar. As you walk in, she says, welcome back, you two. How was your trip? All things good?
It was enlightening.
Yeah, it could have gone a lot worse than it, as far as the realm of possibilities goes, it could have been worse.
Sure. Well, anything to drink?
Whiskey.
Water.
Of course. Understood. She pours you a rocks glass of the whiskey, kind of knowing your deal at this point, and then gives you a big flagon of water. Chaps and Ira, not long after this, you both find yourself at the lean draft as well. Walking straight in.
Yeah.
Eb, you're muted as a side note.
Yep, I realized that as soon as I said
yep. You walk in, you see the same orc. Chaps, you know this orc. His name is Brash. He was one of the orcs that works here that you've seen previously. As he looks at you and says, Chaps, your friends are already inside.
Good to see you, Brash.
You as well. Going forward through the curtain again, you're now back in the lean draft. Thrush and Jack, are you guys at a table or at the bar?
I guess we're just standing at the bar for now until
they show up. I'll hang out at the bar while I wait for them.
Mm-hmm. There are a couple stools, so you don't need to stand if you don't want to, but...
Yeah, I'm standing.
Yeah, I figured.
I'll take a sheet.
Yeah, Thrush is just massively stressed out while Chaps and Ira have had like the most pleasant afternoon.
Yeah, I think we walk in wearing like a whole new outfit.
Yeah, so that's what
I have a
was gonna
bunny
say.
rabbit.
Is that
Yeah.
Jack and Thrush, as they walk in, you notice that Chaps has this like long duster coat on and like a new hat. Ira's got like a white shirt with like a black and gold bow tie and like a black jacket with a hood on top, underneath which there are the black and gold armbands. She's carrying like a stuffed bunny.
Well, you
It's
two
probably
seem
quite
to
the sight.
have had an eventful time.
It was wonderful.
If you're looking for some new threads, I think we have a guy for you.
Yes. Why? Something wrong with the way I dress? And just to my.
I'm just thinking. I'm
Very
just
nice
thinking.
vest and the patchy pants.
Yeah.
Given the people that are after us, I figured it might have been a good idea to change what we look like.
Because I don't think my outfit's really gonna change the gestures to the bird face.
I gesture to my metal face, and I'm like,
Yeah, you see.
Then you of all people understand exactly what I'm talking about.
I mean, I'd be willing.
doesn't mean we can't lay low a little bit.
I'd be willing to ditch the trench coat, but at the same time, not quite.
It's so off.
I didn't want to ditch the trench coat because I was actually a very cold person. I got warm. I got cold very, very.
It was like sticking up your nose for a little bit there.
I got cold very easily, which is why I wore this trench coat all the time. Even in a hot and sweaty place like Rexxentrum, I still felt the occasional slight breeze chill me to my bone. So this trench coat was as much a part of me as this hat and cigarette were. But I didn't see myself really buying. Oh wait, hold on. You guys can hear me, so I'm a cold
Ida's like
person.
stroking her bunny, like her stuffed bunny, and be like, Jack, that cigarette was in your nose the whole time.
I messed up, okay? I'm trying here. Now that my people have a window into my monologues, it messes me all up. I don't know where my fingers are going.
No, Jack, we've heard the monologues the whole time.
Yeah, I put
know.
my arm on his shoulder, and I'm like, I think this level of self-awareness is new for you. So you got a little bit of work to do.
I've never thought about how what I do affects other people. It's just never been really a thing that really crossed my mind. Anyways, so you got a rabbit.
Yeah, I named him Jim.
Oh boy, she's named the rabbit.
That is such a like dad like. Oh boy, she named the rabbit.
He really has become like in that mindset. Like I feel like I have to take care of these people.
Just like losing my mind petting a stuffed bunny.
I feel like we should almost go back to that place and get you the real bunny.
I'm not against that. That would be very exciting for me. I love animals.
I'm not so sure they'd let it go willingly, but I'm sure we could arrange something.
Not against that idea. Let's go.
Oh my god, get ready for episode 8, Battle for the Big Top.
No, battle for the bunny.
Bunny Big Top battle. Dash. Close.
Okay.
Oh my god.
Hey Marta, I think I need some ale or something. I've had a long day.
Of course, a long day now. All of a
Also,
sudden.
have you ever thought of maybe, sailing the seas?
I
think you'd be
considered
really
it.
good at. Yeah, you should do it. I think you'd be really good at it.
Landlocked place like Rexxentrum is not. Well, that's a talk for another time, of course. As she goes back and starts pouring you an ale. Are you trying to make our home game canon here?
Yeah.
Maybe for this guy, Father Dodge.
My cousin.
My cousin, yeah.
Okay, so what are you guys doing as you get the ale put down in front of you? You guys are all standing at the bar right now.
Yeah, should we sit down?
I think when I'm in the bar, I grab my usual.
Mhm.
And then, yeah, I'll be like, yeah, probably a good time to catch up on the events. You've probably had a little more eventful nature going on.
I'll get myself a second whiskey and toss Marta a piece of silver.
She kind of like in a joking way goes, purse strings getting a little tight there, Jack?
Well, let's just say yes.
Nah, I'm kidding. I appreciate it. Anything you need.
Appreciate it, Mara.
Let's just say yes.
So when he eventually gets to the table, I'm like, so I'm guessing it's kind of as we suspected.
Yeah, it's the whole place is pretty much ransacked. Which I saw coming, but at the same time hurts all the same.
Given
Was
the people
your
we're
neighbors
dealing
okay?
with.
Neighbors were fine, actually. I had a good talk with Mr. and Mrs. Tibbs. They're lovely. They're gonna probably go into hiding for maybe the next future.
That's probably for the best. Yeah.
Doing well, though. Doing very well.
hmm They seemed very nice. Well, I mean, I
Lovely
didn't
people.
meet them, but I kind of saw on the way out, through their window. I wasn't looking that deeply.
They
into
only
it.
ever they only ever bang their broom on the ceiling if I was ever like beating somebody up inside my office. Otherwise, it was pretty much fair game. Whatever you had going on. So,
Did you actually beat people in your office?
I mean, I tried to avoid it if I could, but sometimes people follow you back and.
I have a feeling you were on the other end of that more than you'd like to admit.
I turn to Jeff and I go, it
Fuck
sounds
you
about
too,
right.
buddy.
Getting his answers in his own office.
Yeah, I hope I
He
get stabbed to
disappeared?
death too, I guess.
No, I'm sure you can hold your own, Jack, as we've all seen.
Well, I did get almost beaten to death by a statue less than 24 hours ago, so
You
fair
and me both.
assessment. Yes, that's true. You too. Although I don't know if I was it's all a blur around the time where I lost consciousness.
That's fair.
I don't remember it that well.
Suffice
guys.
to say, none of us are really meant for fighting, save for this lovely lady here. And he motions to the currently not bloodied Ida.
Still kind of scarred up. Though.
Yeah.
Ida is like, oh, guys, also, and she's like reaching into her thing, and she pulls out a wand.
You are you a wizard now, or?
No, but I can do one spell, prestidigitation 3 times a day with this thing.
What are you, a big fan of that Barney Clayworker series now, or what's the?
I think it could be useful. And then she puts it back in her bag.
Sorry.
I just watched it sink in with it.
It was just...
You got him.
I was like, clay worker, Potter. And then my life cycled through so many emotions. Initial was just anger. And I was just like, no, it was funny. And then it was happiness from laughter. And then it was just like, my whole thing was, how long has he had that loaded? Was he waiting?
I had about 2 seconds ready for it.
On our end, watching this, it was about 4 seconds of watching you go from to breaking down. So.
It's one of those things where I found it so funny, and I tried really hard not to find it funny. I was just like, "Don't do it, don't break, you're good." And I was like, "Nope, this is it."
It's okay to break. We're going to break many times while playing, I'm sure.
Side note, Ash, as a, I don't know if you looked into prestidigitation, but there's a fun use for your character, which is you can clean or dirty an object within 1 cubic foot. So for instance, if you get a bunch of blood on your new clothes, you can use that to kind of clean an area of them.
That's like the perfect use for you.
Yeah.
Useful.
It doesn't
Amazing.
stop you from bleeding though. So if you're still
Right.
bleeding,
Oh, yeah.
you
Got to
kinda have
wrap
to,
up and then
And if you bleed more than
snap
3
the-
cubic
I don't
feet, you also
Yeah.
can't clean it until the next morning. Fully.
that's fair.
try and
Oh,
contain
very
it to your
specific.
little wrist things. Aside from getting stabbed, you can't really prevent that. But
Yeah.
So, continue on.
Oh, that's great.
Oh, I lost
I'm not-
track of where we were in this conversation.
Ira was showing the wand.
And then
Oh,
I
right,
was
okay.
like being like, well, I think it would be useful, and then like putting it back in.
Well, we can't, with what we're dealing with, we can't really discount anything. Pretty much have to throw caution to the wind and the kitchen sink as well. So, good for you, I guess.
so anything else happened while you two were out? We mostly went clothes shopping and had a bit of a magic show to kind of wind down.
I give Thrush a look, saying, "Should we tell them about the meeting that we had with the police chief?"
These fucking looks are getting more and more insane.
Honestly, but for some reason, I feel like Thrush will understand this
This
look.
is the roll insight Thrush.
Is this the one that he understands?
Insight. That's
Jack roll performance.
That's a dirty 20.
Oh my gosh. I
Only
feel
one
like
way this could go wrong.
I want Thrush to understand it and him to be upset at himself for understanding it.
It's a 22.
Okay, yeah. It's real easy to get that vibe. It's kind of the main thing that you guys just did.
You see, Josh goes, no, but Jack was able to, with my amazing acrobatic ability, we were able to procure a handful of gold that was left at his apartment.
Oh yes, and I feel like it would be only be fair if I split some of it amongst you guys. Oh, let me get my handy dandy calculator app out.
I mean,
That would be great because that big top place really sucked me dry.
I mean, if you have roughly 200 gold, then 50 each.
Oh, I don't have 200 gold. Actually, I might. I have a lot of copper. Oh, did I add the gold to my copper section?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, whoopsie doodles. Put up real quick. Okay, so
I never did like a banking change situation with you where we had 200 copper.
yeah, I don't remember that at all. So okay,
Unless Jack robbed a convenience store in between episodes.
well, so I give them each 50 gold pieces. I gave Thrush 10, but I feel like I guess I should give Thrush another.
Are you giving me my other 40 gold pieces?
Yes. 50.
Considering you're trying to conceal the fact that you just stowed away 5,000.
Yeah. First of all, it was nobody's business. It was my money. And secondly, it'll come up if I'm not dead.
Good point.
That and Jack knows where it is. So
Maybe that's his reason to let you go. No.
Jack just blows my brains. He's got 5,000.
And I've got a gun on layaway.
Got a gun on layaway. I'm still paying it off. This should cover some of it. But well, you said so.
He's got money and I've got a gun on layaway.
It was a simple job, see?
And
We
then that
talked
was
to our
my.
mind about a setup, but really it was for me paying off the gun.
That's right. I had that platinum. Oh, I do have that platinum. No, I gave the platinum to Mr. and Mrs. Tibbs.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh shit! I should have just given them a gold.
For a cursory glance, the only person who's made any money during our adventures has been Thrush
No, I've made money.
Well, I've made the most.
True.
You've made the
fair.
most, but Armand has paid me. So.
They also don't know you have that money. In my mind, I think I'm the only one who's made any money.
Oh yeah, for sure. And I'm not like openly talking about the money that I've been paid by the boss. So
Okay. So, yeah. So, gold being distributed.
Communism. No.
What comes next?
Hey, I say, yeah, I was able to sneak in. They definitely tossed Jack's place, and then we were able to get a couple of coins, but not looking good to be. I looked at Jack. It's not looking good to be heading back anytime soon. But we need to really focus on this fake drop thing we're trying to do. Yeah.
Yeah, we should probably start figuring that out.
So what kind of things did you have in mind?
I think we should know where we need to go after this, because once they realize it's fake, then we're targets. And I'm petting my bunny.
Doesn't take long for you to get attached to things.
Hey, I'll take what I can get, you know?
I can get that.
Sounds like Armand's used to taking what he can get too. Which is kind of how we all got into this situation in the first place.
Yeah, but now we just got to figure out a way to survive this whole thing. So what are you guys thinking? He goes, we floated the idea of doing a fake drop, which I'm sure will be heard about by all the parties involved very quickly.
I think we need some more concrete details.
Yeah.
What is the purpose of the drop to? Like, what
Well-
is our goal with this?
To bring everybody together so they all get in each other's faces and a little bit out of ours.
Maybe we get word out that those shirts are still floating around.
Yes.
What am I thinking? We get the word out that the shirts are still going around. People show up. People find each other trying to show up at the same drop. You know, things start happening that maybe we don't have to be necessarily involved in.
Jack, we're involved no matter what happens.
Yes, and I'd like to get ourselves out of this involvement, if possible. This might be the best way to do it.
Is this like our scapegoat, or like, do we plan this? Because if they figure out that it was us that set this up,
Wait, say that again, Ida?
I said I think like if
Or what?
if they figure out that we are the ones that set this up, I'm not
Should've-
quite sure.
No.
Should a scapegoat. Like,
Jack.
it's like,
Yeah, scapegoat. Like for us to leave.
I was gonna say that, scapegoat is a good word, but you said scapegoat, which is kind of an even better, like, because it's the scapegoat that lets you escape. It's kind of like an accidental perfect term.
look, if the Greek culture had existed in this universe, I'd be right up your ass about that. But because they didn't, this technically works.
Sorry, it's my accent.
Oh, okay. Just blame that.
Do you not understand me?
Alright, so we'll use this as a scapegoat to
Scapegoat.
escape. It's like a room. Okay, the goat's key is in the locker. Combination is written in black.
So, Jack, I think you're very focused on the wrong thing we're talking about.
You're right, I'm getting off topic here.
I just figured, Jack, that your place is turned up, or what? I don't even know what I was trying to say. What does that mean? Turned up.
I'm homeless.
like. Yeah, exactly. That's what I meant. I just
Yeah.
didn't want to be rude, and say that you were homeless.
It's
I was trying to
okay.
think
I
of
would have had
something
to
a
deal
little
with that
nicer.
sooner or later. I'm
I
dealing
thought
with it now.
I thought that was just your office. I didn't realize you slept there as well.
Well, hard to avoid property and taxes in two different places at once.
So you weren't paying your taxes.
No, I was. It's just I had to. Look,
We
the
get
point
that you're
is,
homeless now.
yeah, I don't have a home.
I'm
Thank you very
homeless.
much. Oh, we're homeless buddies. This is great.
Yeah, you're part of the homeless club now,
Do
Jack.
I get to start bleeding a whole lot too now? Because I can't wait for that part.
It's a little bit more complicated than that.
Great.
And that was also a little bit rude. So fuck you.
Okay. I think we're all getting a little heated here.
Jack's heel turn has been. Sorry. I'll change my big bad. I'll make it back. I don't care.
I'm still good. I'm just a little fragile.
The final fight is not a boss fight; it's us fighting each other.
Yeah.
The drop is just us
All
fighting.
I was trying to say was that we don't have a place to go in Rexxentrum now.
Right.
Is it best that we use this to leave? I don't know where we'd go, but I can't see us being welcome here once they figure out what this was.
Perhaps our best bet might be to pick town and get out of here while we can. Once everyone's distracted with our drop, we just sort of make our getaway, our scapegoat.
Because so we're all supposed to just uproot our lives and everything that we have, or in my case, me, and I think the metal man also lives here. So,
well, two of us don't, I guess, anymore. So,
Well, how long?
You also realize I am also homeless, right? Like,
well, 3 out of 4 of us. Then this is great. Like, we just need to get this guy kicked out of whatever home he's living in, and then we've got no reason to be here anymore.
not having a place to lay down at night does not mean you are without a place to lay down at night, as long as you know how to get.
You have a home.
No,
you're homeless.
I do not own
pretty
property.
much.
Everything I
Yeah,
own, I carry on me.
Okay.
But I do
feel
pretty well for myself because I know where to be sticking my nose and where not to be sticking my nose. Unfortunately, I don't really have those luxuries at the moment. But I'm telling you right now, running, not really an option there, Jackie boy.
Well,
what do you think would happen if you stayed?
I don't know.
Is it a much better option than leaving?
I'm thinking the more we stay here, the more involved we get.
My thing is, it's not about leaving or staying. It's about running away.
I think if we're going to rile people up, we're going to need a place to cool down before we come back. So I'm not opposed to stepping away for a little while. But I will let you know, I do plan on staying on good terms with the boss.
Yes. Yeah, why are we at here? Why don't we air some stuff out? Why don't we figure some stuff out? What's your deal?
And he kind of like, he just readjusts himself and kind of sits back and takes a sip of his drink. And if we're going to cover my deal, I think we've all got to hash some stuff out.
He goes, I'm an open book. What do you want to know?
I mean, I just want to roll insight based on the fact that you are technically hiding stuff from us.
Sure.
Mm-hmm. Versus a deception roll, I'd imagine.
I'm pretty sure he's going to beat me on that one.
What is it?
7.
That's a 17.
Yeah.
I look him dead in the face and I go, ask me anything.
So he kind of looks you over and he's just thinking like, you talk about being homeless but having a place to stay. What kind of connections do you have in this city?
Because I don't know if you have been listening this entire time we've been stuck together, but I kind of am the eyes and ears of this place. So finding a place to lay my head for a night, not that difficult. You crash in a bar, you stay in someone's room, you sometimes sleep in an alley. It is what it is, but that's just how it is.
If I can jog everyone's memory without being a little too metagamey, only the pairs of you know why you ended up with Armand. You were all pushed together. Just
That's why we're trying to hash some things out.
We play the game over weeks. I didn't want anyone being like, "Oh yeah, I forgot that I don't know how you guys." So just,
Yeah, like we're literally like we've been doing things together, but we don't really know each other. So Chaps is just like, well, Armand's taking care of me. I had a bit of a falling out with my last line of work.
He goes, would this have something to do with the fact that not only Kai on Ness, but apparently some people he knows recognize you?
Yeah. My previous employer, Ludinus Doleth, he I did some work for him, and that was kind of my built purpose. Did it until I couldn't anymore. And he kind of he's rubbing his scar almost uncomfortably. And there's a bit of a...
Do I notice that, or do we all notice that?
Probably.
Yeah, it's probably not too... he's not really hiding it. It's just kind of bringing back memories. And he's just like... After some incidents, it kind of made my job a little bit tricky to do. So I was looking for something a little more, I can't really say low key, but a little more quiet. So I came to town, and eventually Armand asked me to start delivering things, and it's kind of what I've been doing. That's all I ever did until I met you, Bunch.
So you used to do some kind of crazy covert probably operations?
Something like that.
Little wet work? Is that what you're alluding to?
It's what I was built for.
I knew you were a tough metal man, but it's a rough go. And he goes, all right, fair's fair. Shoot.
I mean, I'm not so sure what to ask you. You probably know people all over the city. I'm just not sure what kind of people I should be asking that you know.
Just assume most of everyone. And if I don't know about someone, then I'm usually the guy you ask to find out. I'm not strictly affiliated with anyone or anything, but through hard work and making the smart move, I've kept myself out of crosshairs until recently. You need to know something, you ask a question. I figure out the answer, or if I don't know it already. And that has allowed me to escape between the Myriad and also the higher ups in the guard. No one wants to get rid of the source of information if it's good information.
It's a good role to play, as long as you play your cards right.
He goes, I did for a really long time, but you can't win every hand. And here we are.
Well, it seems like we've got a little bit of common ground at least.
He goes, I guess so. That being said, I still don't understand why you work for that crazy maniac Armand. I mean,
he's
don't get
only
me
ever
wrong.
taking care of me.
He said, don't get me wrong, that I understand, but I don't know. Last thing I would want to do is be stuck in the game.
Oh, don't get me wrong. Up until now, I had no idea what Armand was up to. He'd tell me a pickup, tell me a drop off, and tell me where to get paid, and that was it.
Hey, do I still have the black powder from our 0.5 session in my possession?
Yeah.
That we found? I feel like I should bring that out at some point. Like,
I've been waiting.
Is this some sort of?
I know you had it. There's no point in me bringing it up.
Is this some sort of hard drug, or?
Maybe you guys can tell me.
Yeah.
So you're pulling out the bits of black powder that you got with you. Chaps, can you roll me perception or perhaps history?
We'll go perception. 22.
22. This looks like some of the stuff that was sort of being packaged in the warehouse that you visited Armand at. Jack, can you give me an Arcana check?
Or what does a critical failure get me?
Nothing. You got no idea. You sneeze and it goes everywhere. No.
Oh, geez, sorry. I scapegoat it all over the table.
Oh my god. Yeah, you got nothing on it.
I feel like that has to be a one-shot, the scapegoat.
No, come on, escape goats. It's gonna be like a one-page RPG where you all play goats that are trying to get away.
I'm so down. Please tell me. Please make
I'll
this
make
happen.
that. I'll make that.
That could be my one shot for the extra life thing.
Yeah,
I could do that.
Well, I mean, when this episode premieres, it'll be after Extra Life, but so we'll see if we do scapegoats.
Yeah, that's true.
And if not, maybe we'll do it some other time.
Right.
Oh man, I'm so down.
So yeah, you're looking at this black powder, and chaps, you feel like you've seen this before.
Can I kind of draw a parallel between it and the shirts?
Well, at Armand's warehouse, he told you that they were manufacturing and sort of shipping around this anti-magic material for possible use within the war.
Yeah, so that's kind of where I'm like, I kind of look at it and I'm like, I'm kind of curious about your deal, but we'll get back to that. Doesn't this make you think of those shirts that we burnt?
Certainly does.
Now that you mention it, yeah.
Where'd you get this stuff from?
Well, when I and Thrush ended up in this whole mess in the first place, we found some barrels full of this stuff. So I grabbed a little, and then it slipped my mind that I had it. Until a brick came through my window, and then it continued to slip my mind until just about 10 seconds ago. But perhaps this can help us in our drop.
Maybe this is the thing that we can set up.
Yes, yeah. Yes. That's something to think about. But while on the subject, that's how I met this guy. He goes, for transparency's sake. That's how I know Jack Odd name. Let's say we were contracted to do some digging, which ended up in us in the employ of one Armand Bethalis. Basically, he's got us over a barrel.
One of the barrels that we broke full of this stuff.
Yeah, he stuffed the guy inside. It was nuts.
Mm-hmm. That's true. That did happen. And also, to the viewers at home, this is not a Deus Ex Machina because this was set up
before we ever even started streaming. Yeah,
that is correct.
Yeah,
this is Deus Ex Memory.
That's right, Deus Ex Memory.
He goes, so now you know how me and Jack ended up under Armand's thumb, and I know that you worked for him already. But turns to Ira. How? He goes, you mentioned something about sleeping on a roof when we first met. I don't.
Yeah, I was hired by Armand to be Chaps' bodyguard for the thing we had to do.
For one of our drops.
Wait there, Chaps. Armand knows what you used to do, right?
I'm trying to remember, and I'm like, I don't know if he did know what I did.
I don't think so.
Makes sense why he took you over to bodyguard then. If he doesn't know what you're capable of, makes sense to double up. But
my line of work before didn't lead to a lot of fighting, but I did a lot of reading into people.
Chaps, you did mention during the 0.5 session that it felt strange to be set up with a bodyguard.
Yeah.
That was something that had never happened before.
Yeah, like, and I think he's kind of thinking about it like, normally my drops are just me, so it was a little bit off. but I do what the boss says. I'm not entirely sure if I mean, when push came to shove, she was a good distraction, and I did get away.
Yep. And then I slept on the roof for a little bit until it cleared out. And then I met up with you guys later.
Who was it that got you to protect me? Do you know?
I don't know. One of Armand's men came and found me. I had nowhere to go, so kind of walking around aimlessly. And they thought I'd be a good bodyguard, I guess.
Because, well, you do look like you've been through hell and survived, so I could see it.
Something like that.
But what's your deal? You mentioned, I think, Ice
Haven.
Ice Haven, yeah. Because how'd you end up in Rexxentrum?
Well, I am from Ice Haven, or at least a small part that's close to Ice Haven, and I went away for a little bit, and when I came back, it was burned to the ground with all my family that I had. No one was left.
It's a rough day. Sorry.
Sorry to hear that.
It was
And
only
that's why
me
we're
and my
homeless.
dad. Yeah. It was only me and my dad. I don't know what happened to my mom, but
Awful situation to find yourself in.
my dad wouldn't talk to me about my mom.
Maybe she's still around then.
I hope so, but that's why I came to Rexxentrum, because I was looking for bad men. Who did that?
Well, not a bad place to start.
A lot of bad people here, that's for sure.
As we
And what you
found
said.
out. Yeah.
But, I don't know. So you end up doing a job protecting the metal man. Did it go well? Did it go bad?
Well, that's kind of when we heard about Gold Fang. There were, well, let's just say the person I was supposed to drop to tried to stab me. Wasn't too happy with that. Took the package on my way.
Yeah,
Wait.
she just pulled out a knife and then said, Gold Fang says hello.
So the person
I think
you
that's the first time I said his name right.
I think so.
So the person you were picking up from tried to kill you?
Person I was dropping off to tried to kill me.
Do you think Armand knew about that? Because like you said, if you didn't need a bodyguard, why would he send me with you?
It does seem weird that he would send a bodyguard on the one time that my drop would go poorly. Maybe he was suspicious of something going wrong.
Well, then shouldn't he have told you that? To be extra careful?
Oh, he never gives me any information. Just a bag, a person to drop, or a place to drop, and a place to get paid. That drop is... The more I think about it, the weirder it seems, though. There were a lot of city guards that were prepared to take us out as well, so...
There definitely were.
Oh, there, chaps. I guess I got one last question for you.
What's that?
If you could get out, would you?
Given my involvement now, I think I might.
I do an insight check. See. Wow, that's really bad. Sorry, wrong page. That is a 8.
Yeah, you believe him.
I go, what if the moves we make next What if they weren't just to stop the guys trying to kill us, but take everybody down? I say this in very hushed tones, like
given the place we're currently sitting in.
Yeah.
I'm like doing that like hardcore lean in on the table, just.
And I kind of like I lean into and I'm like I take a drink.
Yeah, same.
I lean and I say, I thought we were clear that that was the point of the drop in the first place, was so they all take each other out.
No, Jack. Clearly, we need help from our mind to make this drop possible.
We need help from everybody to make this drop possible.
Yeah,
We need
who else are we going to get help from?
Well, we make the locksmiths call us.
We haven't heard tale of where they've gone or heard from them yet, so.
Yes, but chaps, my question stands. What are you willing to take this to make the I don't think I how to word this. Given the
You want to double cross your boss?
Given the choice between Armand and you walking away, what do you choose?
I've led a pretty good life here. It's hard to step away from that.
Yeah, not saying that. All right. Well,
I mean, like, look at all of us. You could go on a fun adventure. We could, I don't know, if we stick together. If you guys are down for that.
I was waiting for you to be like, I don't know, avenge my family. Maybe that's another thing we can do together. I mean,
that's on the itinerary.
Sounds like another season to me.
There you go.
Avenge my family.
Part 2.
Solve an actual mystery with Jack Hard name.
I mean, maybe if you guys are down, you can help me look for these bad men.
The girl with the fucked up scars all over her face.
Is that the sequel to The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo?
Girl with the fucked up scars.
I look at I don't know. I look at Chaps in his metallic face, and I'll go. He goes, "There's no running away, and if you want out, there's only one thing to do, and that's take them all down." And I'm not saying anything will stick, but we're in no position to try to run or negotiate.
And you kind of see like Chaps is just thinking about it, and his drink is empty, but he's still holding the glass in his hand, kind of like swirling the ice. And you can tell he's thinking hard right now. And he looks up, and for the first time, he actually matches your gaze, and he says, "Given everything that I've seen and all the people I've worked with, I think I needed time to get out. This might be it."
And I go, I look at Jack, and I go, leaning in, and I'm just like, me and Jack, we're working for the, sorry, it's the Crown's Guard, right?
Yes, the Crown's Guard.
I think it's, me and Jack are working for the Crown's Guard, which is why we're underneath Armand. They knew Armand was up to something. They asked us to go find out what. And now here we are. After our mission to recover the drop went awry, which is to put it in a very...
I fucked it up.
Because I'm referring to the drop in the woods there, Jack. It wasn't just you.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, okay, cool. Hey, I can't blame everything on me. It's great.
Oh, I can blame everything on you, Jack. Absolutely, but not this one. Just once, because observation mission for the Crown's Guard went awry. We were caught by Armand, which is why he has us over a barrel. But
getting really moody in here.
After failed reconnaissance mission at the drop, I went back to our contact. And right now we are working on a plan to take everybody down. But in doing so, we uncovered some information. Goldfang was working with Armand.
So I've heard.
And it seems that Goldfang tried to cut Armand out.
Maybe my drop was that point. That was the break.
That might be it. We're dealing with two people who were in cahoots, who are no longer. But on top of that, we also have to deal with the fact that Goldfang's connected. Unlike anyone else in the Myriad, he's got political power. And the people he's working with and for, they seem to be conscientious of his extracurricular activities. Whether it goes all the way to the top, I don't know. But this isn't going to be an easy task to take down Goldfang, nor will it be to take down any of this. I don't necessarily think that anything we do to Armand will stick, considering who he's related to. Armand's super connected because of who he is. And Goldfang is connected due to his political affiliations. It seems that the Myriad is slowly making their way closer towards a political presence in the city. Meanwhile, the political presence is slowly making their way down to the level of the Myriad. So we're stuck in between a triangle of absolute horseshit and a group of freedom fighters who want to take down the corruption in Rexxentrum. Rexxentrum is corruption. So what I'm telling you is we need to figure out a way to get everybody up each other's asses so we can get out.
So
and Jack's gonna take a scoop of the powder stuff and go sort of let it filter out into the same pile. Like obviously not.
Pours it onto a lit candle, we all explode.
Just drops it. Oh fuck! I meant to be dramatic.
It sounds like we got our work cut out ahead of us.
If we know about this material, this powder, this black stuff, that's the anti-magic stuff that caused the rift between Goldfang and Armand. We can exploit that. Say we use but we can't set up this drop without Armand's help. So it might not be a shot at everybody at once, but we got to start taking pieces off the board.
At the very least, I think we can throw some wrenches into Goldfang's plans with Armand's help, and maybe once things are in motion, that's when everyone gets involved and we can slip away.
Now, Chaps, you mentioned before that you had did Chaps, was this metagaming, or did Chaps mention before that he had been in the factory?
I don't think I mentioned that. I think when I realized where I'd seen the powder before, I kind of tied it back to the shirts, and I brought up the fact that it's like...
He brought up the shirts, not the factory.
Yeah.
Okay. Well then, never mind.
While Jack is like playing with the black powder, can I kind of take a look and see if I, by any chance, might recognize what it does or what it is?
Yeah, well, not kind of check. Is it inherently non-magical?
Yeah, right. So it's not a hard check.
1, so 19.
Yeah, you get the exact same vibe that you did from the
shirts.
yeah, when you burn the shirts and it kind of turned into dust, this is kind of the base material of that was sewn into the fabric. So to explain what happened during that session, when you burnt the shirts, this powder didn't burn, but the fabric and the threads themselves did burn. So
it was good that we gathered it up and flushed it. Basically.
So there was a package going to Goldfang of these shirts that were made by something that you found close to it, Armand?
Yeah, because they used to work together. It seems that Goldfang is more interested in working with himself and not with Armand, which puts us at odds. Which puts them at odds. But the question is, if everybody's trying to get a seat at each other's tables, how is the animosity between Armand and Goldfang gonna play out?
Not well.
Maybe that's how we get Goldfang. We make sure that he can never get his seat at the table.
Intriguing.
That takes one piece off the board.
How do we go about doing that?
By letting this conflict escalate to a place where Big Sis has no choice but to intervene. Armand operates on his own, but we know who his sister is.
Aunt.
Whose family is.
Yeah, who his family is. Because he's a big shot, but he's not the biggest piece on that board. I figure if it became very widely known that a big player in the political scene is making moves against the nephew of the biggest player in the Myriad, some tension might arise.
I think that's a safe bet.
I'm thinking we've got a works for a starting point. My question is, how do we get the family involved? Do we just make a big enough racket that they can't ignore? Or is there a way that we contact them a little more directly?
What if we make it look like the locksmiths are getting their information about Armand from Goldfang? An even bigger double cross. We know the locksmiths want to take everybody out. And we know that Goldfang and Armand are doing a delicate dance. We just need to figure out exactly how to rattle the cage enough. You see, Thrush just kind of starts downing his water, just like.
And I'm just. Chaps is just like he's never been a big thinker. Like he doesn't focus on the bigger picture, so he's really trying to rack his head around. Like, okay, so if we're gonna rattle the cage, I hear something in the background. What is that?
Sorry, there's a truck backing up in my. Like I said, this microphone picks up everything.
That's just Chaps thinking through everything. Yeah, he's really trying to like work through in his mind, like, okay, so we're talking about a drop, and I think he's thinking through everything, and he's like, so there's a little bit of info that might be beneficial to this whole situation. Last time I was talking to the boss, he let me know that this material He's got lots of it.
Oh,
I think he's the one sourcing it for Goldfang, or was sourcing it for Goldfang. So I'm wondering if Goldfang's trying to source it from elsewhere. I'm just trying to think of.
But where is Armand getting this material from?
I'm not involved
'Cause then
enough
we
to know
could
that.
If we traced it back, maybe we'll see where Goldfang. Well, I mean, if we even wanted to do that.
Can I make like a history check to see if I remember if they were like just packaging this stuff or if they were manufacturing it?
Yeah, make a history check.
That's a 23 there, good sir.
Now, you didn't go through the entire warehouse. There were definitely doors and rooms that you did not find your way through. But from what you noticed and picked up in that warehouse, this location was a place to just pack it. And if you remember, there were barrels with a bunch of like vegetables on top with this material underneath of it. This is kind of a warehouse where they package it and ship it off covertly so that if any above board Crown Scar and the like open it, they just see sort of like vegetables and stuff and they put it down.
Okay.
You didn't notice any place for manufacturing. You didn't notice any sort of like alchemical situations or anything.
Okay, so Armand's getting it in from getting this material in from somewhere. And he was working with Goldfang.
I think I have an idea.
Let's hear it.
What if I go to the boss and I tell him he's got the next drop isn't a drop, it's a hit on his supply line.
well, we would need to know where his supply line would be.
He tells us. He's the one that he sends us in to check it out. That's where we get our info from.
That's not a bad idea.
It's good. It's something that only you would be able to pull off, chaps.
If I'm in this fully.
Alright, so Armand's getting the material in from somewhere. He's working with Goldfang in a equally lucrative deal because Goldfang gets to make, with the help of some seamsters, they get to make this anti-magic stuff. The stuff's used in the war, which makes Goldfang very popular with the government. It keeps Armand's pockets full. But then Goldfang tries to cut Armand out of the process, go straight. Is that what happened?
I'm wondering if Goldfang is trying to cut Armand out. So I don't think it's too far of a stretch to think that maybe that drop that we intercepted was the product of trying to cut Armand out as a middleman. I'm thinking he might act a little strong to a threat to his supply.
Kai wants to cut out Armand, which keeps him in good standing with the government, but also raises his stake higher among the Myriad.
Could be.
Now, my only concern is, if the last time the supply was being threatened, Armand sent us in to keep watch, how do we know that he won't do the same thing all over again?
I think this time if his full supply is gonna get cut, he might have to send in a little bit more force, a little more confrontational.
Oh, that would make sense. And then Kai comes in, the two battle it out. A good chunk of their manpower taken care of, we hope.
At the very least, that might be cause for alarm if you still want to get the boss's family involved. Maybe word gets out. I mean, you know how to sing. He looks at our little informant. I'm sure you can get word out to the right people.
I can get the word on the street about anything. I just want us to make sure we know exactly what we're getting ourselves into before we do it.
I like to imagine that Iris just like stroking this rabbit. Just
that's what I've been doing this whole time. Yeah.
For some reason in my head, I imagine at some point she's like miming the rabbit going over to like sniff the powder. So it's got like a little like black nose now, just from the powder.
I'm like trying to carefully take it off and like put it back in the thing because I realized it was a mistake.
You don't want to be walking around with a non-magical rabbit.
Anti-magic rabbit.
Yeah, anti-magic. Which would be as cool as that would be. That might
Especially
change
when I have a magic stick in my pocket.
Oh my gosh, that would be so amazing. The drop is just a powder-covered rabbit.
Do not sacrifice Jim.
Wow. Oh my god, that's so perfect. I'll go to the supplier and be like, can you make Jim anti-magic? Just strap him onto the front of my chest as we walk around.
So, yeah, do you guys have a sort of coherent plan yet worked out, or a semblance of a plan?
I think
not at all.
Coherent, no.
I think we're almost further from a plan. But I think we're at a point now where it's like, okay, we have some options.
Right.
I think the setup for the plan will kind of come down to Chaps talking to Armand.
Right.
Because I have a feeling that's where we're going with this, because I think he's still in Armand's good graces.
Mm-hmm.
And he would still like to keep it that way, because honestly, Armand has taken care of him. But he also, when Armand's like, you're getting more involved, he's kind of like, maybe I don't want to get more involved. Right. So I think that's kind of where he's sitting at.
Okay.
Unless anyone else has other ideas. But I think kind of letting Armand know that his supply is threatened, like that's what the next drop is. It's more of a full-on like taking over of his supply.
Mm-hmm.
That would lead to I need to or he imagines Armand would need to act more directly in that case, as opposed to sending 4 nobodies.
Right.
Some unfortunate people.
Buy our shirts.
As the evening kind of goes on, plans are made, and
can't believe I said that.
Yeah, I was gonna do some air horns when you said unfortunate.
Eventually, some kind of people shuffle in and out of the bar, getting there.
Just Armand's been listening to us the whole time.
Yeah, right. See invisibility. There's just 12 scrying orbs everywhere. Eventually, from behind the curtain walks out Brash, the orc. And he's got like a big like sack of stuff, like a Santa Claus bag. And he walks over to your table and he goes, boss wanted me to give these to you, said he couldn't stick around tonight. He'll be back around in the morning for, I don't know, whatever you all had going on. And he kind of just like plops it onto the table like really hard, and it's like a really heavy thud, and says, he said you'd know what to do with it. I don't know.
Thank you, Brash.
Apologies.
Ida puts the bunny down on the floor and just like pats it. Then gets very focused on what this is.
Of course. And he just kind of like walks away.
We need to find a way to animate that rabbit.
Yeah.
That rabbit is the emoji, but it's got like the little powder on its face.
So you all now are sitting around here with this big like Santa sack of stuff.
Can I take a peek at what's inside here?
Yeah.
All right. What do I see?
As you look in,
Ida comes up and like opens it a little further, so she also.
You kind of all can see there's what seems like weapons or armor and stuff like that, equipment and the like. There's a bow, there's a sword, there seem to be goggles, and there seem to be a bit of leather armor. Do you want to get to know it, or are you just gonna like close it back up and?
We should. I mean, maybe we should take this to a different room.
Yeah, you've got the rooms in the back still.
Yeah, why don't we let's reconvene in the back real quick.
Okay.
Ida grabs the bunny, takes it with her.
I grab another whiskey bar.
Perfect.
As we walk, can I do a quick Arcana check on this stuff? See if any of this is magic, or is it just...
Yeah, go for it.
It's all magical.
Natural 1. And I have
no idea.
Yeah, just go in the back.
I'll do a help action on that because, I mean, I'm there too.
Jack, give me a separate Arcana roll.
Okay.
Sorry to rob you there, Aaron.
It's okay. I wanted redemption.
That's gonna be a...
You don't know shit about these things.
What was that, Ian?
15.
Yeah, like Thrush said, it's all magic.
Oh, shit. Alright, how many items do we know is in here? Rough number.
4.
Okay. And you mention that to me as we walk by, like, to the back? Like, it's all magic, see?
Well, it's all magic, you see?
Yes. They all kind of have different uses and such.
I say, if you give me I need about an hour, and we'll be able to figure out what this stuff is.
Take your time. I'm not going anywhere tonight.
Yeah, and then I guess we just head back to those rooms.
Yeah. Okay. We'll probably all congregate in one room and then disperse after.
And then I was going to take the time to ritual cast and identify on all this stuff because I could do that.
Right.
Nice. And that'll be the rest of our night.
Yeah, let me just pull up because I know what they all are, and you can all feel free to look all this stuff up as I kind of list it off. All of them kind of have an intended recipient. However, if you want to...
I get the bow. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, disperse it as you wish. Everything is going to be in D&D Beyond to add to your character sheets. So the leather armor, it's a studded leather armor of the Veil, which gives you a +1 bonus to stealth checks when you take a hide action. Obviously for Jack.
I thought for Ida.
Yeah, right.
Help her hide.
Next one is the goggles. These are goggles of the night, which gives you dark vision for a range of 60 feet. But there's only one, so one person can essentially get dark vision, like you had mentioned.
I can upgrade my eyes.
There is a rapier. It is a moon-touched rapier. Which essentially, when you pull it, it has the ability to shed some sort of dim, like moonlight, essentially acting as like a torch sword. And then there is a long bow of warning, which will give you... It essentially means that you can't be surprised. It'll let you know when like danger's around, and there are no surprise rounds of combat.
Cool.
Oh. Yep. And along with the gloves, it's kind of that's Armand's gift to everyone as he understands things are about to get hairy.
Yes.
And I think with that little Christmas present drop, we're going to end the episode.
Oh snap!
Cool.
Hell yeah!
Thanks for hanging out with us, everyone. Thanks for hanging out with the tech difficulties of losing half an episode and having to redo half an episode. Nonsense, but we appreciate
we did our best to put it together, so
yeah,
we tried so hard.
Everyone, as a reminder, please follow us on all the internet places at Extra Attack RPG. Yeah, and I hope you have a good week. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.